ending time frame is more for your Henry County and Newton County areas. Now, how much, as I just said there, where it's a haves and have-nots, I think it's going to be a dusting to up to a quarter of an inch for Canton, Alpharetta, and Dunwoody. Southside, this is your snowstorm. Congratulations, you finally get one, because I know everybody's like, when do we get our storm today? You're looking at half an inch to 1 inch for Peachtree City, McDonough down into Griffin, Judd.
So the snow we got a couple of weeks ago, or I guess less than weeks ago, not quite what we're going to have this time around.
Not quite. This is not the same system. It's still Gulf low, but this is tracking further south. So believe it or not, New Orleans, Albany, Georgia, Macon, Savannah, they're going to get more snow than we will here in Metro Atlanta.
Excellent, Christina. Thanks so much. I'll be back in a couple of minutes with your complete forecast. Now, because of frigid weather, plumbers are gearing up for a busy week.
The last time Metro Atlanta saw a record-breaking hard freeze, the team at Royal Flush Plumbing responded to 1,500 calls of burst pipes. Now Tim Winterstein says they are ready to respond again.
We see freeze breaks left and right, and we're certainly expecting it. Our team's been put on, or the whole company's been put on notice. For us, we consider it a community emergency, and so everybody in our company is required to work until freeze breaks are completed.
Winterstein says think about the pipes in your garage and other areas that may not be insulated like the rest of your home. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Governor Kemp's issued a state of emergency because of the winter weather threat. Many Metro Atlanta school districts have either closed or gone virtual today. Now, for a complete list, you can go to WSBRadio.com or the WSB Radio app. Other stories you're watching this morning. Learning more about the 2 Americans who have been freed after being held by the Taliban in Afghanistan.
One American is Ryan Corbett, who was tamed during a business trip in 2022. The other is reportedly William McKenty. Little is known about why he was in Afghanistan. The Taliban is praising the swap as a step toward normalization.
Correspondent Cammie McCormick says the Americans were freed in exchange for a member of the Taliban who was serving a life sentence in California on drug trafficking and terror charges. Well, a day after President Trump signs about 200 executive actions, ranging from tougher immigration laws to freeing more than 1,500 convicted U.S. Capitol rioters, he'll spend part of his first full day in office in separate meetings with leaders of both the U.S. House and Senate. Correspondent Rachel Scott says Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune will both be in the Oval Office.
President Donald Trump said on the campaign trail he was going to get down to business quickly, and that he did with that series of executive actions. But even his closest allies over on Capitol Hill acknowledge he is going to need the help of Congress to get much of his agenda across the finish line.
Also on Capitol Hill today, former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins finally has his confirmation hearing today in the Senate. Collins, Trump's pick to lead Veterans Affairs. Hearing was postponed last week because of delays with his FBI background check. It's 9:03. Mark Aram begins in less than 2 minutes, but first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start with the roads. Triple team traffic here. Smile Mark McKay.
Hey, very well. I have some icing along I-20. Looking at the jam cam here, units just pulled behind police. They're holding the left lane. Looks like a little icing issue as you work your way on I-20 West, right at the downtown connector. If you're going through to the west side, the West Freeway is starting to slow. The right lanes leaving Fulton Industrial Boulevard to I-285. Watching the ride from the northern suburbs, A-OK, but a concern continues in a busy stretch of Cobb County. Ashley Frasca.
Headed out to Austell, a crash investigation for a few hours now has the east-west connector westbound lane shut down between Fontaine and Hicks Road. Not even a tap of the brakes, though, as you travel eastbound past the crash. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
And I'm 95.5 WSB meteorologist Christina. Upwards, cloudy skies right now. Everyone is below freezing at this time, and we're going to stay at or below freezing for this afternoon with a high of 32. That means any snow showers are going to stick to the ground, and so we're looking at a dusting to up to 1 inch of snow. The dusting in the northern suburbs, the 1 inch of snowfall for the south side. The snow comes to an end after 6 p.m. Lows tonight in the mid-teens. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high 36. Thursday partly cloudy, morning low 22, afternoon high 41. Live in the Storm Center, meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Christina said it's below freezing, 24 degrees in Sonora right now, 22 in Ball Ground, 27 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends, to this chilly Tuesday edition of the Mark Aram Show. You just heard Christina live there. I think about an hour. Just give me a nod. An hour, we officially enter the winter watch phase of the day. Christina says 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The inclement weather moving from the southwest to the northeast. Christina's not leaving the building. She is going to update you on whatever might happen today weather-wise. We are all over the Trump inauguration and day one of the second Trump term. Stephen Portnoy from ABC is going to talk about the rash of pardons, both from Trump and now former President Biden. Rory O'Neill on our national correspondent discussing all the executive orders. By the way, did you watch or listen to? It was like at 8 p.m. and Trump went to the Oval Office, the redone Oval Office, and he was just signing all these executive orders. And there were reporters in the Oval Office, and they were just freeballing questions. It was remarkable. I'm going to play some of the audio. Like, I want more of that, like off the cuff Trump. Now, the inauguration speech yesterday. If you love Trump campaign speeches, you loved that speech because his inauguration speech was basically a campaign speech. I prefer when he's going off cuff, not reading a script, and that's what we saw yesterday in the Oval Office. Remarkable stuff. I mean, the reporters were just firing questions away, and he was just answering honestly. It was pretty remarkable. But we're going to be all over the inauguration. Congrats to the Ohio State fans listening, probably on their way to the airport. Oh, how I hate Ohio State is basically my mantra. So I was rooting for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but Ohio State won their first national title in 2014. I got swept. I didn't go to the game. I didn't watch the game, but I got swept up in the not the participants of the game, but the spectators of the game. So yesterday, obviously, it was King Day. I had the day off from school, so it was a rare time we could have lunch together. And I had to leave the station when we got off the air and bring my rental car back to the rental place in Buckhead. And I said, Maya, why don't you meet me for lunch and right next to the rental place, and then we can drive home together. So I was like, oh, the Corner Cafe is right there on Piedmont. I was like, why don't you go get to the table? I'll drop the car off and we'll go. And she calls me. She's like, there's a 45-minute wait.
For lunch?
Yeah, I was like,
what?
I'm like, Monday at noon on the corner. I mean, the Corner Cafe is great, but I was like, what's going on? She's like, all these Notre Dame blanks are, I guess everyone was staying in Buckhead and they all fled. I was like, oh, all right. So we wound up having to go into Brookhaven. But the wait times at the airport, I've never seen anything like this. 50-minute wait times. Domestic, north, lower north, south.
I've never waited that long.
Never. I'm thinking either it's like everyone, all Notre Dame and Ohio State fans have the same flight times and all went to the airport the same, or something's wrong with the
Is it the winter weather?
website. Maybe winter weather's delaying some things, but that's insane. ATL.com, by the way, if you have a flight today, maybe someone can verify that 50-minute. That's like Thanksgiving wait times or Christmas wait times. I guess national championship wait times. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the game. Congrats to Ohio State fans. I was not rooting for you. Our old boss, Pete Spriggs, is an Ohio State fan, so I guess I'm happy for him and his family. But hopefully you enjoyed your time in Metro Atlanta. I neglected to say at 9:35 we're going to go to Linda Gradstein in Jerusalem to get the latest on the hostage swap there. Did you hear the story this morning that the three women that were released by Hamas had got gift bags?
That's so disturbing.
Very disturbing. So I want to, Linda's going to join us live at 9:35. I want to get the latest on her. And because we were all in inauguration mode yesterday, I didn't really cover some of the bigger stories. The LA fires continue to rage. And I thought about this as a local angle, because I know people that they're done with LA. They're just not going to move back. They live there. They're done. They've had enough. Earthquakes are one thing. High taxes are one thing. But raging wildfires, that's a deal breaker for a lot of folks. I wonder if and I don't mean to demean or make light of what's going on in LA. It's an absolutely horrible situation. But could we in Metro Atlanta see a benefit as far as the film and television industry? Could studios be like, it's not worth it anymore to film in LA because we have to deal with wildfires? Could we see a surge in production, film and TV production, come to Metro Atlanta? We're going to talk to some folks in the industry there because Savannah, I believe, is pitching because, Georgia has these tax benefits, not just Atlanta, But Savannah now is trying to get in on the game. What was that one movie that was filmed in Savannah?
Midnight in the Garden.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that movie. Love that movie. So, hey, again, it's horrible what's going on in L.A., but could studios, major executives say, you know, it's cheaper to film in Georgia? There's no wildfires in Georgia? Maybe we see an influx of movie and television production here in the state because of what's going on in L.A. So we're going to update the wildfires, the latest with the peace deal between Israel and Hamas. But again, we're all over the Trump presidency, the second term. And I noticed, I'm going to say something some people are going to be like, well, you're way off on this. I might be way off on this. And maybe because I'm still in baseball mode, coming back from Braves fantasy camp. But as I noticed yesterday, by the way, how he stayed up, I was in bed at 8:30 p.m. And Trump was in the Oval Office, you know, just signing executive. I don't know how he had the stamina at 78 years old to do that. But I noticed he's swinging for the fences, right? I'm going to use a baseball analogy. And when you swing for the fences, you either do what? You either hit a home run or you strike out. As I'm watching the inauguration yesterday, his speech and all these executive orders, he's swinging for the fences here. And this, I have no idea what the outcome is going to be. But traditionally, when you swing for the fences, you either hit the ball way out of the ballpark or you strike out. And I just think, as an observer, I think the second Trump term, those are the two outcomes. There's nothing in the middle. I don't think anyone's going to, look at the second Trump term and be like, oh, it was middle of the road. You know, he did okay. He's either going to smash the ball out of the park and be one of the greatest second-term presidents of all time, or he's going to, Casey at the bat. The mighty Casey strikes out. I think those are two likely scenarios right now. I don't know which it's going to be. He's either going to crush it or he's going to go down swinging. We shall see. But what a first day for the second Trump presidency. Quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to correspondent Rory O'Neill about those over 100 executive orders that Trump signed yesterday, last night in the Oval Office. He joins us live all over the second Trump term, day 2 now of the second Trump term, live to Jerusalem. Oh, Scott Slade's going to join us live at 10:35 as well. And after a one-day sabbatical, return of the 5K day bonus blitz. 1 hour from now, another chance for you to win $1,000 on 95.5 WSB.
When the weather is at its worst,
Colder moving in next week.
we're at our best.
Wind chills in the single digits.
Check in often for updates on how it will affect you and your commute.
85 north that you're stacked in on the wet pavement from 285 heading up toward Pleasant Hill Road.
Tune in often for the latest.
Potentially some wintry precipitation.
95.5 WSB, your severe weather station.
Our weather can be so unpredictable. Dry for days, and we get pounded with rain and storms, from soaking wet to arid dry. Extreme heat to bitter cold, and your roof has to be ready to take all that abuse. So, is your roof ready for our weather extremes? Home Fixer Show host Baker here for my experts at Finley Roofing. The roof guys, if you're not sure how your roof is holding up, look for signs like white spots or water streaks on the ceiling, drywall, or in the attic. Water is your home's worst enemy. So let Finley catch the problem now before water invades your home. Everything you own and love lives under your roof. Don't keep repairing what you should replace. Think of Finley first. They installed the roof on my home and the homes of over 65,000 of our neighbors. I trust Finley Roofing, and you can too. They're local, part of our community, and they follow the golden rule and treat your home like it's their own. Schedule your free roof analysis at finleyroofing.com. Roof.
At Cigna Healthcare, it's not just about getting healthy, it's about staying healthy. That's why we're designing a better way to treat obesity, starting with ensuring that those who need GLP-1s have access to them. But everyone is different, so we support them in many different ways, like helping them see a nutritionist.
Keep it up. You're doing great.
When it comes to healthcare, a better experience means better outcomes for everyone. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
Have your previous remodeling experiences been stressful? Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Use Exovations and get a completely different experience. We're a state licensed contractor, show up on time, provide you a project schedule, a fixed price, and your project delivered on time, on budget, and without all that stress that you usually hear about in construction. Schedule your free quote today at exovations.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place, you know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with the minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory service offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor.
Insuring and more. Trust the Plus. Paintingplus.com.
9:18 on the Mark Aram Show, checking trouble into downtown. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Ashley Frasca.
Hey, Mark, we've got eyes on this crash right now, temporarily holding all lanes along I-20 westbound to clear crash right at the downtown connector. So again, all 3 lanes are being held there. To save some time, you can use Memorial Drive instead. And the crash still clear. Investigation ongoing. East-west connector westbound is shut down at Fontaine. Traffic brought to you by Georgia United Credit Union. Start the new year on the right financial path with Georgia United Credit Union. Y'all have a financial partner passionate about helping you discover more at gucu.org, insured by NCUA. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
You know, we made a good decision, by the way, doing it in the rotunda as opposed to in about 4 degrees with the wind chill factor. That would not have been pretty.
Former President Trump, now President Trump in his second term, talking about the move into the rotunda. I actually enjoyed everything being inside. I know a lot of folks were bummed out that they didn't get to see the actual swearing in, but I thought it was I don't want to say quaint, but the fact that it was in such a historic building, I enjoyed that. Maybe they'll do that moving forward for probably safety concerns. Trump was asked, by the way, Deborah, in that amazing Oval Office press conference kind of thing, because remember Shelley joined us yesterday. He's like, he heard from people in D.C. that they moved it inside because of security threats, not because of weather. So one of the reporters asked Trump, is that true? And he said, no, it was the weather. We didn't want people to be suffering. There was no threat that forced us to move inside. But I mean, obviously, the Secret Service had a much easier job, just screening.
100%.
Yeah. So maybe that's the new norm now. Moving forward, we'll do the inauguration, the swearing in indoors, and maybe have some outdoor events. Anyway, the boss is going to get so mad at me, but later on the show, I got to play you audio of when Trump was signing those executive orders, and in between 10 strokes, answering questions. It was amazing. Like, I want that once a week where he's just free balling it and answering questions. It was better than the inauguration speech. We didn't learn anything new from the inauguration speech, but him answering questions while he was signing those executive orders, fascinating. I'm going to play a lot of the audio. Boss is going to be mad. But I think a lot of people missed that. They didn't see that. Speaking of executive orders, correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the show. Rory, good morning. President Trump, first day of his second term, came out firing with over 100 executive orders. I guess for the listeners, what were the biggest or most important ones he signed yesterday?
Well, a lot of this fulfills the promises they had made on the campaign trail, many relating to immigration, some taking the U.S. out of the World Health Organization, withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement, delaying enforcement of the federal ban on TikTok, also forcing federal workers to go back to the office. No more work from home after COVID. It's a long list. Dozens of these were signed yesterday. One of them, I think, overturned 78 different Biden administrative actions as well. So it's a laundry list. But as you said, this is a very different Donald Trump from 8 years ago when he first came into office, when he was a stranger to Washington and really relied on the GOP establishment to help him take those first baby steps 8 years ago. That's not the case this time. Instead, he's surrounded by people who are more loyal to him and who have a very clear agenda.
Yeah, it's going to be a totally different West Wing in the second Trump term. The ones you mentioned, WHO, Paris Climate, we saw those coming. The birthright citizenship executive order, tell us about that, and can President Trump get rid of that via executive order?
Yeah, now that's something that's going to, like, we're off to the courthouse already on that one, because the Constitution says if you're born here, you are an American citizen. But this executive order says if you're born here of someone who is not in the country legally, then you're not automatically considered an American citizen. So that's going to set up a pretty complicated constitutional fight that could drag on for years as that moves forward. And look, some of these are almost silly directives, right? I think one of them was directing his topics like immigration.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Aram Show. Back to the birthright citizenship executive order. Obviously, it's going to be headed to the courts, but in the meantime, if someone is born today in the United States, but their parents aren't citizens, what happens to them? Until this is decided by the court, do they have citizenship?
Well, I think you would go through the process to have the citizenship, and then perhaps it could be, it's difficult. I mean, because it's not a law, right? This is an executive order, not law, and I'm sure it's already being challenged. And when challenge happens, typically that suspends the law from taking effect. So it would seem that if that baby were born today, that they would be considered an American citizen.
Yeah, as far as the naming of things, so Mount McKinley, I mean, listen, President Biden changed the name, so obviously that can be done. But when we're talking Obama, I'm sorry, yes. But when we're talking about the Gulf of Mexico, which obviously doesn't just border the United States of America, are the map makers loving this because they get to print up a bunch of new maps, or what's the process of renaming the Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, and actually renaming Mount McKinley was also something that went through an official U.S. government agency that does that. When it comes to the Gulf of Mexico, let's imagine you've got a ship full of coffee beans coming in from Brazil. Well, we may call it the Gulf of America, but Brazil is still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico. And there actually is an international organization that names these things just for the purposes, well, when it comes to the Gulf, of maritime safety, so that everyone knows what's coming. You know, it's interesting. Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida just declared a state of emergency because of the snow that's expected to fall in North Florida, 2 to 4 inches in the Panhandle. But in the directive he issued yesterday, he warned about a low pressure system in the Gulf of America. So he's already changed the language there. But do Floridians know where the Gulf of America is? Would they pay attention? If I said there's a hurricane coming from the Gulf of America, would they know what action to take? So it could be confusing.
Now, that was the first day of the Trump presidency with all these executive actions. Is that it, or might we see more executive actions deeper we go into the second term?
Well, I think we'll see some more. Obviously, though, these have limitations, right? These executive orders, they do apply things more so like you have to have everyone show up back at the office again. I mean, that's sort of what these are for. You wouldn't pass a law for that, but these are all easily reversed, 4 years from now, which is why, presidents like to have a lot of fanfare, both sides of the aisle, but presidents like to talk a big game with these EOs. But at the end of the day, whatever you write down, no matter how big your signature, it could all be reversed by the next person in a couple of years.
Rory, as always, appreciate your time. Have a great day, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
I think the birthright citizenship thing is one of the most intriguing. I don't think he has the power via executive order to end what the Supreme Court deemed constitutional right. If you're born on U.S. soil, you are a U.S. citizen. What about foreign soil? World reaction to the second Trump presidency. World leaders have been swift to react so far.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk. We already know the Pope's position on the second Trump presidency. Asked on an Italian TV show Sunday night what he thought about Trump's plans for mass deportations of illegal migrants, the 88-year-old pontiff said it would be a disgrace if carried through. The Pope followed up Monday with an official telegram of congratulations, pointedly saying he prayed that America will live up to its ideals of being, quote, a land of opportunity and welcome for all. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
One of the first foreign leaders to issue congratulations to President Trump was Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Vladimir Putin, interesting. Deborah, you sent me this. He appeared on Russian television after the inauguration to appeal to Donald Trump to not start World War III. And then he congratulated him on his win. That was hours before the inaugural address. So, I mean, that's one of the big things that we're going to be watching in the second Trump term, what happens in that Russia-Ukraine war. But world leaders already congratulating President Trump. It's so weird. I've been saying President-elect Trump for so long. And before that, former President Trump. I'm going to slip up, folks. It's not intentional. If I happen to say President Trump or former President Trump, that's just, me getting tongue-tied. President Trump getting congratulations from world leaders. Judge got your news, weather, traffic. Christina is going to update the chilly winter forecast to let us know what we can expect later this morning when it comes to winter weather. When we come back, though, we're going to continue our coverage of the presidency. And how about the pardons yesterday? Biden with preemptive pardons, Trump with a bunch of pardons. Stephen Portnoy from ABC has the story next on The Mark Arum Show.
Why does it matter that D. Geller & Son is Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler? Because we get first dibs. When diamonds come to Atlanta, they come to D. Geller & Son first. A bunch of diamonds that look the same on paper, but there's about 1 in every 10 that you can see from across the room. So we keep the good one, we pack the rest back up, and they go somewhere else. Usually a big box store that's not quite as picky. That means the same color, same clarity, and same price gets you more brilliance, more sparkle, more bang for your diamond buck at D. Geller & Son. Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, online at dgeller.com.
Football season and True Atlanta Fashion Renters Warehouse going big by stuffing 24 football puns in one ad. Hope your radio's got good reception, folks. Now huddle up and listen to their pitch. If you manage your own rental property, time to sack yourself and bring in backups, because giving the ball to Renters Warehouse Atlanta, a much better option. Tired of fumbling around, playing defense, and penalizing your family by working overtime? They've got the playbook for success. So just hand off your property management to them and kick back while they tackle the grunt work. Their special teams know how to handle the details and help you avoid the unnecessary roughness of managing a rental. They'll screen your tenants, make sure you receive the rent on time, and help you move maintenance calls to the sidelines. One extra point, once you see how Renters Warehouse Atlanta makes property management a snap, your happiness will spike. Don't take a knee. Take control. Go to rwatlanta.com today or call 404-662-2322. That's 404-662-2322. And that is good for Renters Warehouse Atlanta.
Healthy, beautiful skin can be yours with Olansky Dermatology. They're experts in aesthetic and medical skincare needs, including Mohs surgery. Schedule online 24/7 at their Cumming, Roswell, and Buckhead locations, with new convenient evening and Saturday hours at their Buckhead office. With 40 years as Atlanta's premier dermatology practice, they're your trusted skincare specialists. Visit OlanskyDermatology.com for an appointment with Atlanta's top dermatologist. Olansky Dermatology Aesthetics, where everyone deserves healthy skin.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. Our top story this half hour, the preparations have been made. Now we await the arrival of winter weather for the second time this month to Metro Atlanta. But this one is a bit different. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards, closely watching this storm for us this morning, joins live. And Christina, I guess one big part of the system is who is actually going to see the most snow.
Right, exactly. This is more of a south side snow system, and that is because the Gulf flow, very similar to what we had 10 days ago, this one is a little bit further south. So the further south that you are, the better chance you get for that accumulating snow. Here in the metro region, we're talking about Noonan, Peachtree City, Jonesboro, McDonough, and even Covington, half an inch, 1 inch of snowfall. It's looking to be more like a dusting, low accumulations the further north that let you go.
All right, yeah. Strange to see places like New Orleans and down around the Florida border getting more snow than we do. All right, Christina, going to check back with you in a couple minutes with your full forecast. Now, these frigid temperatures we've been experiencing for the past day and a half or so will put utility services to the test and likely lead to some service disruptions.
Water lines are buried at least 3 feet deep to insulate from extreme cold, but Georgia Utility Contractors Association President Jason Lee says there's a cold truth about our water utilities.
When you're dealing with an aging infrastructure, things can and will happen.
Lee says the repairs actually provide an opportunity in one respect.
Hey, while we're here making a repair, let's go on and try to improve the system in this area to try to bring it up to date if possible.
Lee adds that the key is to have a coordinated plan so crews and equipment are available for a quick response when breaks occur. Graham Kier, 95.5 WSB.
One other note about the weather. If you have a flight out of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport today, make sure you check your status ahead of time. We've seen issues this morning with the airlines. According to FlightAware, there have been more than 14,000 delays and cancellations around the country today. Locally, the Atlanta airport reporting more than 100 delays, 150 cancellations so far. President Trump spends part of his first full day in office today, meeting in the Oval Office with leaders of the U.S. House and Senate as he looks to lay out his plan to get his agenda underway. Comes a day after he signs about 200 executive actions, rolling back Biden administration initiatives, including an attempt to strike down birthright citizenship. Correspondent Jonathan Carl says many of those orders will face legal challenges.
Virtually everything he did yesterday is something that mirrors what he talked about on the campaign trail. He is going to try to fulfill these campaign promises no matter how far-reaching.
He says many of those actions, though, may be hard to pass because of such a slim majority in the U.S. House. It is 9:32 as we check your money on this first full day of the Trump administration. Wall Street is responding positively. The Dow is up as the bell rings this morning, almost 200 points. S&P is up almost 30 points, about 0.5%. The NASDAQ is up about 80 points right now as we get things started on your Tuesday. It's 9:33, now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start with the roads and the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Mike Shield. All right, we'll check back with Mike in just a minute.
And I'm 95.5 WSB meteorologist Christine Upward. So far, we are dry this morning, though we've had a few flurries earlier over the course of the morning hours. But right now, temperatures are in the mid-20s. The best we'll do is a high of 32 degrees for today. Watching for the snow showers to develop between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. and expect the snow to move out of our eastern communities around 6 p.m. Accumulations about 1/2 inch to 1 inch for the Whitesburg, Peachtree City, Jonesboro, and Conyers region. Cartersville, Canton, Cumming, and Flowery Branch looking about a 1/10 to just a dusting accumulation for this afternoon, but very cold for tonight as temperatures drop into the mid-teens. Judd?
All right, thank you very much, Christine. Let's try one more time. Mike Shields on the traffic center.
Hey, Judd, Ashley Frasca here with an update. Better news on the downtown ride. I-20 westbound, all lanes are back open from a crash that was at the downtown connector. Crash investigation ongoing into Austell. East-west connector westbound still blocked at Fontaine. Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
All right, thank you very much, Ashley. 26 degrees right now in Mountain Park, 24 in Austell, 27 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Yo, I just won $1,000 from WSB.
The WSB 5K a day boat splits.
5 words. I'm dead every weekday.
Thank you, Jesus. What's that?
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
Mr. President, that you can keep the ceasefire in Gaza and include the 3 phases of this deal.
I'm not confident. This is not our war, it's their war. But
President Trump answering questions about the Mideast yesterday. We'll go live to Jerusalem. Correspondent Linda Gradstein next on the Mark Arum Show.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Georgia farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlGeorgia.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity. Now through January 30th, get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year. You add a limited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Hey, it's Mark Aram here. Save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less screen. Switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing with autopay and stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment taxes, fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill after promo regular rate supply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus One Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus One Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of internet usage per line. Data thresholds. Actual savings vary.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Mix and match 10 or more participating items for $1 each with your card. Choose from Kroger brand pasta, Starkist 2 pouches, Powerade, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
I look forward to working with you to return the remaining hostages, to destroy Hamas's military capabilities and end its political rule in Gaza, and to ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing Donald Trump, congratulating on his second term as President of the United States. Welcome back to the Mark Aram Show. Continue our coverage of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal and, to be honest, the second Trump term. Joining us live from Jerusalem, CBS News correspondent Linda Gradstein. Linda, as always, thanks for your time.
Sure. How you doing, Mark?
Excellent. Let's start, if you don't mind, with the second Trump term, which kicked off yesterday. We heard from the Prime Minister of Israel congratulating him. The president was asked about the Israel-Hamas war and the ceasefire. He was asked by a reporter in the Oval Office last night if he feels confident the ceasefire would be extended. And he basically said, it's not my problem. It's not my war. That's not what I expected to hear from the president.
Well, yes, and I think, before he was elected, a lot of Israelis said, we will be very happy if Trump is elected, and we think he's much better for Israel. And, I think that, he will do what he thinks is best for President Trump, not necessarily what's best for Israel. At the same time, I think that Israel feels he will give Israel a freer hand to do whatever it wants. One of the first executive orders he signed was to end all restrictions on even the 2,000-pound bombs that President Biden had stopped, saying that they killed too many civilians in Gaza. And I think that, while he did say that, it's not the United States war, at the same time, I think he won't be trying to put restrictions on Israel, and Palestinians are concerned that he will not be concerned about civilian lives being lost in Gaza.
Linda, another executive order, and he signed over 100 yesterday, related to settlers in the West Bank. For folks that aren't in the weeds on that, can you explain to the listeners what that executive order means and what the impact will be in Israel?
Sure. Well, President Biden had imposed sanctions on, I think, a handful of Jewish settlers in the West Bank, meaning that a few of them, I think, were American citizens, that they wouldn't have access to their bank accounts and things like that. But it was more of a kind of a moral statement. And President Trump, by canceling those orders, seemed to signal that he, again, won't put any, brakes on Israel. The West Bank, which Israel has occupied since 1967, has been getting increasingly tense. Israel today launched an operation in the Jenin refugee camp and in the city of Jenin in the northern West Bank, and Palestinians say that 6 Palestinians were killed and dozens wounded. Also, overnight, several dozen Jewish settlers burned Palestinian houses and cars. And so, this is something that we've seen before, where is a small minority of Jewish settlers who are who will go ahead and attack Palestinians, and then when they're caught, almost nothing happens to them. And it seems to be a sign that this will continue.
Well, if that does continue, does that put the ceasefire at risk?
No, it doesn't put the ceasefire at risk because the ceasefire has to do with Hamas in Gaza. Hamas did call for mobilization in the West Bank against these kinds of things, but Hamas is not as strong in the West Bank. The West Bank is controlled by Fatah, the sort of rival to Hamas. And in fact, over the past several weeks, Fatah, the Palestinian Authority, has been operating in Jenin against Hamas, saying that Hamas was threatening its, law and order. So there's internal conflicts among the Palestinians as well. What could threaten the ceasefire? And, Netanyahu, in fact, has reportedly promised his right-wing coalition partners that after the 6 weeks of the ceasefire, which is what was agreed on, and freedom for 33 Israeli hostages, we saw the first 3 come home on Sunday, and it was very emotional for a lot of Israelis. 3 young women, and there are supposed to be 4 more women released on Saturday, and then it will continue sort of every week. And in exchange, Israel's releasing hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. But it could be that after that 6-week ceasefire, Israel will try to go back to fighting in Gaza. I think what sort of the United States hopes, and a lot of people in Israel hope, is that 6-week ceasefire, during which Israel and Hamas are supposed to negotiate a broader agreement to end the war in Gaza for a complete Israeli army withdrawal from Gaza, and what happens and who controls Gaza afterwards, which is still a very good question, but that the ceasefire will kind of take on life of its own, and it will not be so easy to renew the fighting. But at this point, it's really not clear.
Linda Gradstein joining us live in Jerusalem here on the Mark Arum Show. The 3 female hostages that were released, I know there's, sigh of relief from their families. What do we know about those women that were released, and what kind of condition were they in, medically, mentally? Do we have any insight on that yet?
Yeah, we do. I mean, they were 3 young women, all civilians. 2 of them had been kidnapped from a kibbutz. One is in her 20s and is a dual Israeli-British citizen, Emily Damari. The other young woman was a veterinary nurse in her early 30s. And the 3rd young woman, Romy Yardain, was from the music festival. And they were released together, reunited with their families. I mean, Israelis were really kind of holding their breath. Medically, they seem to be in better condition than had been expected. Emily Damari's mother said that her daughter was in better condition than had been expected. They've all obviously lost weight. They were held underground for large periods of time. Medically, there's still more tests to do. And emotionally, I can't even begin to imagine what, being held by Hamas for 471 days, what that does to somebody emotionally.
Yeah, unbelievable. Am I reading this right, that the 3 female hostages that were released were given gift bags by Hamas?
Yes, which is just sort of chilling. They were these bags with Hamas logo on them, and at least according to the press reports, they held pictures of the young women taken during their captivity, a certificate of release in Hebrew and Arabic, and even a necklace as a gift. It's just hard to get my head around that.
I don't understand that at all. Relatedly, I don't know if you can offer any guidance on this. Israel's military chief of staff said he's going to resign in March over the failure to prevent the October 7th attack. Has there been a call for him to resign? Is he falling on the sword? What do we know about that angle?
Well, I think it's sort of a combination of both. I mean, Netanyahu has sort of tried to pin the blame for what happened on October 7th, which is the biggest intelligence failure in Israel's history, or perhaps rivals the Yom Kippur War, and had said that the army should have known and should have done more to prevent it. And he has said in the past that he takes responsibility for this. He said that the failure to thwart Hamas will, quote, remain with me for life. And so he announced that he's resigning. The army is carrying out its own investigation into what happened. Remarkably, the Prime Minister has not taken responsibility at all for what happened and has refused to appoint a commission of inquiry into what happened.
Linda Gretstein, CBS News in Jerusalem. Linda, great reporting as always. Please stay safe, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Any updates on the hostage or the ceasefire, anything in the Mideast, we'll bring it to you live here on 95.5 WSB. Reminder, you have 5 chances to win $1,000 every weekday. It's the 5K day bonus blitz. Listen for keywords at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. You'll have 30 minutes to enter the keyword. One lucky listener will get paid $1,000. Your next chance to win coming up around 10, 12-ish right here on the Mark Arum Show.
The news breaks.
Donald John Trump do solemnly swear.
A story unfolds.
We will not forget our Constitution.
And it's a new day in
The
America.
United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation.
As each story breaks,
Drill, baby, drill.
we'll have it covered for you. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
It's just not normal, friends. The pain caused from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it's become your new normal. Short-term fixes not working. Make the decision now to say, no, not going to live with that. It's Mark Arum back with you. Get moving again in 2025 with help from my friends at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine, using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. I want you to call QC Kinetics right now for a free consultation. Deal with joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. Call QC Kinetics, friends. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
It's the time of year that Mama Bear and I work on our annual budget. Between you and me, I'm starting to think we're spending too much on salmon. Fortunately, with Scana Energies, our natural gas provider, we have options to save that fit our needs. Sign up and get up to $100 a day. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/100 for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
It's home show time. The North Atlanta Home Show is January 24th to the 26th at the Gas South Convention Center. Yep, 3 days full of great deals, new ideas, and practical advice for your home. Tickets are available now at NorthAtlantaHomeShow.com. Use promo code BAKER and save 50%.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
For Valentine's Day, Tara Fine Jewelry Company's immaculate, beautiful showroom speaks for itself. You'll find a gift as wonderful as the love that brought you there. Every showcase home to magnificent designs. Tara Fine Jewelry Company, Buford, just 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, the new year is a great time to reconsider how we do things, how to make things better in 2025. Like, kind of the whole struggle of how to pay for your health care. People generally are not happy with the status quo, but there's good news. There's a much better option, and it's proven. MediShare is refreshing. You can save thousands of dollars a year. Many save up to $500 a month, seriously, and you get to choose from a huge network of doctors and providers. And maybe the best part, and we know this from research on why people join MediShare, they love this. Instead of sending your money every month to a huge corporation that might fund all sorts of procedures or things you don't believe in, you're joining a faith-based network of people who actually care about each other. And like I said, that's refreshing. There is a better option. You don't have to do it the way you've always done it. You can make a change and start saving now. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
9:50 on the Mark Aram Show. Northwest, is it blessed or not, Ashley Frasca?
It really is. It's been lighter than normal with the schools out there in the Northwest. However, a little bit of volume picking up on 75 northbound, passing 575, and still the crash investigation ongoing. East-west connector westbound has been shut down at Fontaine Road. And also, give yourself plenty of time if you're headed to Hartsfield-Jackson this morning. Wait time through TSA for upwards of 1 hour already. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Chance in D.C. yesterday after President Trump pardoned the January 6ers. We are going to go in depth on all the pardons that came in yesterday. Stephen Portnoy from ABC is going to join us after the news at 10. I think the headline this morning are the January 6 pardons. But before that, what I thought was really, really interesting were the preemptive pardons that Biden issued on his way out. Portnoy is going to cover all of the pardon stories coming up after the news at 10. Ashley mentioned wait lines that at Hartsfield-Jackson. I've never seen them this severe. 75-minute wait at the main checkpoint. 90-minute wait at the south checkpoint, and that's only for pre-check. Like, you get pre-check, you want to fly through security. It can't just be all the Midwesterners going back to Indiana, Ohio, right? There's got to be something. Did the TSA folks...
Some TSA call out sick?
Something.
They saw that terrible TSA movie?
The movie's so bad. So bad. Don't watch that movie. Anyway, I'm going to scroll through. Actually, Nyoki, you're better at social media than me. Nyokes, pay attention, kid. Go through. You have TikTok. Is it back yet? Go through TikTok. I don't know if you can search like Atlanta Airport, but see if people are posting video of the wait time, because there's got to be something else. It can't just be the Fighting Irish and those Buckeyes causing 90-minute delays at pre-check. Speaking of airports, this is an interesting story there. I'm going to tie it to the world's busiest airport here in Atlanta. Luggage thefts. Now, this is occurring not at Hartsfield-Jackson. Where's it occurring, Deborah?
This is actually over in Greece.
Okay.
So it's a little ways away from us.
So what's going on there? Explain what's happening to people's luggage.
So this is something I've always been concerned about, right? You put your luggage, and then they tell you, oh, pick it up at this carousel. And, for Atlanta, you have to walk all the way over to get it. Okay.
There's 28 carousels.
Yeah, and I've always been nervous, like, what is stopping people from grabbing the wrong bag? Because I've accidentally picked up the wrong one. I'm like, oh, that's not mine, and then I put it back. But you could easily just roll out of there with it. Well, these women in Greece have been doing exactly that. They're going to the Athens International Airport. They've been waiting for the carousels to fill up, and then they just grab a bag and walk out the door, because why wouldn't it be yours if you're just rolling out with the suitcase?
Yeah.
And it's not like they'd grab a bunch, but they'd been doing it repeatedly. So they've been busted with at least 8 suitcases in these past couple months.
That's crazy.
That's always scared me.
So, a lot of luggage looks alike. That's why I have a Waffle House luggage tag on my suitcase. So it's very, the yellow Waffle House letter, so no one's going to grab my bag by accident. But it used to be, when you'd go to the airport, you'd go to baggage claim, Carousel 4, my flight came in from Hartford, and you'd pick up your bags, and as you were leaving the airport or going down to MARTA, you'd have to show your claim ticket to someone checking bags going out. I don't know when that stopped, but I can't remember the last time I was at the airport and someone checked my bag to make sure I wasn't stealing anyone. Do you remember those days when they would check the luggage?
It's been a long time since I've ever had to do that. Like, a lot of times I always just have carry-on too, so I rarely have to go to the carousel. But I think the last time I did that, gosh, it must have been at least 7 years ago since that
It's happened to me at other airports, like smaller airports. They will check to make sure you're taking your bag. Like, let me see your claim ticket, because they're still giving us claim tickets. Like, it's still a thing. I wonder if, because, there's so many cameras in the airport, if they're like, we don't need to staff people checking bags. We've got all this video. We can see video evidence of someone stealing.
Maybe, but then there's times where I've been traveling with friends and family, and I'm like, oh, that's mom's bag, just grab it. Oh, no, there's that. And, and it's not my bag, but it's all of our group.
Yeah, I don't know when that stopped being a thing. Checking. You just flew from India, or did you drive to India?
Oh, I drove.
Oh, never mind then. Welcome back, Longoria.
Thank you.
The stoic one was he was performing a gymnastics routine.
I was,
in Indianapolis. But I don't know when that went away, but that used to be protocol. You couldn't leave the airport until you showed someone your claim ticket. Anyway, I'm surprised that more people are. I'm surprised as much as I travel, I haven't had bags stolen. They'd be so disappointed, though, stealing
I'm so disappointed with mine is, too.
They'd be like, well, what are these dirty Boxer briefs? What? This is disgusting. I don't want any of this stuff. Interesting. I'm just surprised we don't see more thefts. This is you know how much I love biblical history. What was Jesus's real name? Was it not Jesus?
Depending on what stories you read, it's not going to be Jesus. But most scientists or historians believe it. We Americans, English speakers, will probably say Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, something like that. We say Jesus, right, when we're talking about that particular figure.
But whatever, 2,000 years ago, there was no, in whatever language Jesus was speaking, and we're really not even sure, was it Aramaic? Was it, there was no hard J sound like Jesus.
Right, there was only an I, which was the closest thing, and J's didn't come for, another 1,000 years or something. So there seems to be a consensus that his name was really more like Jeshua.
Okay.
Or Yeshua, depending. Yeshua. Yeah, Yeshua or Yeshua, which they're saying is very common in Galilee at the time, which would be like the most common names now. So the most common baby names now are like Noah and Emma or something. So it'd be so common, that's what it would have been then.
There was a story, I think you gave it to me a couple months ago, where they found a tomb, and it said, whatever, Jesus, Yeshua, whatever, son of Mary and Joseph. And people are like, oh, this is it. But you're saying that those were common names, and maybe it wasn't.
Extremely common name,
Here lies Gnocchi, son of Longoria and Deborah. Not very common. That would be easy to determine. All right, Jesus, there you go. That was what he was called. All right, news, weather, and traffic with our buddy Austin Eller. When we come back, we're going to continue our coverage of the second Trump term. So many pardons yesterday. Biden throwing them out. Trump throwing them out. We're going to talk to Steve Portnoy from ABC. He's going to break it down for us. And don't forget, around 10:12, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. You'll have 10:30 until 10:30 to enter that keyword. Another chance for you on $1,000 right here, 95.5 WSB.
Do you have cracked brick, concrete cracks, water leaks, or musty odors in your crawl space? There isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. AquaGuard's experts will help solve your problem. Go to aquaguard.net now and schedule a free inspection with AquaGuard.
At Cigna Healthcare, we're designing better weight management treatment options. Making sure that those who need GLP-1s have access to them is the first step.
1 mile complete.
And we help them take the right steps after that, giving them the personalized support they need to keep going.
1 more mile complete.
When it comes to healthcare, a better experience means better outcomes for everyone. That's better by design. Learn more at cigna.com/better.
Belinda Skelton here with Dr. Ashraf with the Atlanta Vision Institute, and I'm a proud recipient of the laser optics procedure because it literally changed my life. I went from wearing glasses and contacts and not being able to see leaves on trees clearly, being tired when I read books at night, tired when I worked on the computer for long hours at a time. And I know that you hear a lot of this, Dr. Ashraf.
Yes, Belinda, I hear all these accolades all the time from patients. It is truly a life-changing procedure. This will not give you x-ray vision. However, if you want to get rid of the hassle of glasses and contacts and want to improve the quality of your life, this is a great procedure for you.
Go to 2020atlanta.com to find out more information. Take the quiz. See if this procedure is a good option for you. That website again is 2020atlanta.com. Your medical insurance may cover it.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doorbell. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Heavy rain and severe storms have impacted our area. Dave Baker here. Water is your home's #1 enemy. I recommend you get a free roof analysis from Findlay Roofing. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com. Roof.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. Our top local story is that winter weather heading our way. It's certainly cold right now in the metro and potential snowfall on the way as well. Many schools across the metro are closed or have shifted virtual. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards joins us live now. Christina, what can people expect today across the metro?
Well, we had some snow flurries earlier this morning. Right now we've got a break, but I'm watching what's coming in from the state of Alabama, and we could have yet more snow showers between now and about 6 p.m. Now, when I say snow, yes, it'll accumulate, but we're looking at a dusting to up to a quarter of an inch for, say, Douglasville to Dunwoody and Conyers. Further south, the south side is going to get more of the snowfall, half an inch for Peachtree City, McDonough, over towards Covington. Austin.
Thank you, Christina. And Christina will rejoin us in a little bit for Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast. Governor Kemp and other state leaders are expected to soon provide an update on preparations for the storm.
State government will be closed today as the winter weather sets in. Governor Kemp declaring a state of emergency on Monday. The order prohibits price gouging and will allow for up to 250 National Guard troops to be called up to assist in preparations, response, or recovery efforts. State lawmakers were set to meet this week to begin their work on the state's budget, but those meetings have been postponed until at least Thursday. Kemp's state of emergency runs until next Tuesday. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Now, that winter weather is also having an impact on flights today at the Atlanta airport. FlightAware shows there have been about 160 cancellations so far. Some of the major airlines are offering waivers. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines has a Gulf Coast winter weather advisory through Wednesday posted, while JetBlue, United, and Southwest are also notifying customers of delays and cancellations. And on top of that, security lines are extremely long right now at the Atlanta airport as many leave Atlanta after that national championship game last night. The main north and lower north checkpoints all have waits of 75 minutes as of last check. Local plumbers say these extended freezing temperatures will wreak some havoc on a home's plumbing system. Tim Winterstein with Royal Flush Plumbing says it's all hands on deck today.
The whole team comes together, regardless of what your job is, because, again, we consider it a community emergency. When people go without have no water, that's a problem.
He tells WSB during that last deep freeze, the company responded to about 1,500 calls for burst pipes. And it's not just the pipes in your home. Utilities could have issues today as well.
Metro area cities and counties have spent millions of dollars working to upgrade aging water utilities, but Jason Lee, president of the Georgia Utility Contractors Association, says there will be problems anyway.
Inevitably, there will be main breaks. We try our best to be prepared when and if something does break.
Lee says the key for his teams is to coordinate with local utility crews to have their teams and equipment on standby, ready to act quickly. Carroll 95.5 WSB.
Former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins is set to appear before the U.S. Senate Veterans Affairs Committee this hour for his confirmation hearing. Collins was originally scheduled to testify last week. That was delayed as the FBI had not yet completed its routine background check. And this all comes after Florida Senator Marco Rubio was sworn in earlier this morning as Secretary of State.
I'm honored and I'm privileged, cognizant of responsibility, and I want to thank President Trump for his confidence. We will work hard every second of the day to help him achieve the agenda the American people have given him to achieve.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has named State Attorney General Ashley Moody to fill Rubio's Senate seat. It's 10:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Good morning, Austin. And yeah, the trick is getting through security. And TSA Hartville-Jackson, getting there on the interstates is not tricky, though. 75, 85 north and south doing well. So is the west side of I-285 if you're making the exit to Camp Creek Parkway. Picking up new trouble, though. We're going to call Douglas County, give them a ring to see what's going on. I-20 westbound brake lights now building in between Billard Highway 5 and Post Road. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
And I'm 95.5 meteorologist Christina Edwards, and we are right now kind of in a dry period, but I'm watching the snow showers as they move in from Alabama into the state of Georgia. We're looking at about a quarter of an inch of snowfall along I-20 from Temple into the Midtown Atlanta area, and up to half an inch to 1 inch of snowfall over towards Conyers and Covington. Now, further north in Canton, it'll be a dusting. Further south towards Griffin, up to an inch of snowfall through this afternoon. It'll taper off after 6 p.m. Low tonight in the teens. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 36. Live in the Storm Center, meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Right now, it's 25 degrees in Sandy Springs, 25 as well in College Park, and 25 degrees in Midtown. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
The show on a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Whole family reunited. So excited. Deborah Green's here, the executive producer of the show. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Young Yoki screens your calls. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to give you the keyword in the 5K bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 hairs. 10:35. Scott Slade is going to join us live. I mentioned the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Just for clarification purposes, Longoria's daughters do have birthright citizenship.
Yes.
They're here. Actually, in fact, which is crazy, Longoria's family tree, you came to the United States like 7 generations ago. Hundreds of years before my people got here, or Deborah's people, or even Trump's people.
Right.
Like
I Trump.
You Trump. So no concern about Longoria deported. Don't you worry about it. No need for birthright citizenship. The Longoria family.
Don't check. Don't look into it.
In fact, if you watch the TV show 1923, I believe the Longoria family is mentioned in that. 2 of the guys, by the way, Deborah, that were in fantasy camp with me, they live out in Texas. They were extra in the second season of 1923.
Oh, this new one?
Yes.
Oh, exciting.
I was like, what is it? You know, you have any spoilers? They're like, oh, it was exciting. And, I'm very excited for that. Anyway, Longoria is safe and sound. All right, continuing our team coverage of the second Trump term. Joining us from ABC News, it's correspondent Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, January 20th is generally known as Inauguration Day, but looking back, January 20th of this year might be considered Pardon Day, a flurry of pardons from former President Biden and current President Donald Trump. Let's start with the Biden pardons, the preemptive pardons, if you will. What happened there, and who got those preemptive pardons?
Well, I mean, look, Joe Biden, is one of his last acts in office, pardoned members of his family. And this was a surprise. The word came in as we were all watching the inaugural ceremonies getting underway, but the White House, in its essentially last press statement, said that Joe Biden would pardon his brothers, Jim and Frank, his sister Valerie, their spouses. This is all in addition to his prior pardon of his son Hunter. Yesterday morning, we learned that the outgoing president would grant preemptive pardons to retired General Mark Milley, the former Joint Chiefs Chairman, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who led the government's COVID response, members of the House January 6th Committee and staff of the January 6th Committee, as well as police officers who testified before that panel. The press tried to electrically shock police officers. You can watch the video of the rioters jamming the door, the cops screaming in pain. Well, never mind all that, because they've now been pardoned.
Stephen Portnoy from ABC News joining us on the Mark Aram Show. Back to the preemptive pardons. If I did my research correctly, you don't have to accept a pardon. If the president issues one, it's up to you to accept it. And like Fauci and Milley et al. Might not want to accept the pardon, because if they do, they lose that Fifth Amendment right if there are any further investigations going forward.
Well, look, it's kind of confusing, and I wish I had a clear answer to your question, but the fact is we don't have a lot of examples in American legal history to say this is how this ought to go. Preemptive pardons are generally not how this is done. Traditionally, when the president grants a pardon, and I'm talking about historically over the last 250-odd years, presidents grant pardons as a way of respecting a person who has served their time and demonstrate that they can be a model citizen and their full civil rights are restored. They have the right to buy a firearm. They have the right to vote. Preemptive pardons are kind of a new thing. So exactly what it means to accept it and what implications it could have if you're called, for example, before Congress to testify or called before a grand jury to testify and asserting your Fifth Amendment rights, I have no idea how that is supposed to work.
The newness of the preemptive pardons, does former President Biden, does he set a precedent that could open the door for President Trump on his way out to issue some broad preemptive pardons?
Oh, without question. Joe Biden, in taking these actions, which no president before him has taken to such a personal extent, pardoning his family members as a parting gift. I mean, I don't know what kind of doors that opens, but it's something we've never seen before.
Stephen, as always, appreciate your time. Have a great day, my friend.
You bet.
Stephen Portnoy there. I mean, there's criticism from folks on President Trump pardoning the violent offenders on January 6th. Right now on Capitol Hill, a couple of Republican senators were asked about it, gave no comments. The president is getting backlash on some of those folks that, attacked the Capitol Police. no one was sure if the president was going to pardon those that committed violent acts. We all assumed the peaceful protesters would get pardons, but not the violent ones. So that's something to work on. But again, I think the biggest issue is the precedent that Biden set as far as the preemptive pardons. That opens a whole can of who knows what's going to come down the pike. If you can just preemptively pardon someone broadly, that is not a good precedent, not a good look. I do want to pat myself on the back, Deborah. I don't often get political predictions correctly, but this one certainly I nailed.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Marco Rubio.
I, Marco Rubio.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic. I called it. I said he's going to be
You
unanimous.
did. You said it was going to go through.
Bam, 99-0. Now I don't know what the 100th senator. Were they not there? Did they vote present? But that's unanimous. So it's not often I get a political prediction correctly, but I nailed that. Rubio, 99-0. We'll see if the other nominees fly through with such peachy results. All right, here we go, friends. 5K a day bonus blitz. The 10 a.m. keyword is card. C-A-R-D, card. Like baseball card, Deborah? Did they do that for me? Card. Enter the keyword card into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword. Win $1,000. The keyword is card. C-A-R-D. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up. Could be us telling you won $1,000. Keyword is card. Good luck, friends.
When the weather is at its worst,
We're looking at potentially 48 consecutive hours with temperatures below freezing.
we're at our best.
Prepare for this Arctic and prolonged cold.
Check in often for updates on how it will affect you and your commute.
Several surface streets are shut down around the metro.
Tune in often for the latest.
Right now, more than 900 flights are canceled or delayed at Hartsfield.
95.5 WSB, your severe weather station.
Mark Aram here from my friends at Renters Warehouse. Fall is here. The kids back to school. Time to take a quiz. Question 1. If you already own a house with a low interest rate, what's the best way to get even more value from it? Answer, rent it out. Renting already delivers cash flow, appreciation, and tax benefits. Now it allows you to keep that low interest rate. And hey, you can always move back in if you want to. Question 2. With Renters Warehouse, do you have to find tenants, collect rent, or handle maintenance calls? No. Renters Warehouse does it all for you. That's why they're Atlanta's leading real estate investment services company. Final question. Do you pay Renters Warehouse a percentage of the rent or a low flat monthly fee? Answer, a low flat monthly fee. For just $115 a month, you can outsource all your management headaches to them. Now, to pass the test, I need you to do one more thing. Go to rwatlanta.com today, book your free home rental price analysis, or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
If it's the big story, it's on to Channel 2 Action News this morning. I'm Fred Blankenship.
And I'm Lori Wilson. Big stories are always breaking. It may start in the morning, but the impact continues all day.
We're constantly working to bring you fresh information from different perspectives.
This is Developing Live. Our reporters are working to get you all the angles right now.
When it comes to the big story, this is always the place to get ready for your day.
Join us on Channel 2 Action News this morning every day, 4:30 to 7.
With MSC Cruises, discover big on a mini getaway or treat yourself to a week-long vacation. For a limited time, book now and enjoy up to 35% off cruises, plus kids sail free. Sail to the turquoise waters of the Bahamas with stops at our private island, Ocean Key MSC Marine Reserve, or experience the beauty of the Caribbean and more destinations. MSC Cruises for a greater beauty. To book, visit msccruise.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
If you're setting your financial resolutions for 2025, how does setting a goal to have income for a lifetime sound? Many happy retirees create income for a lifetime, and it's not just one product. Instead, it's something I call income investing. It's a way to harness the power of many different forms of cash flow, including rent, royalties, dividends, distributions, and interest. This is what we focus on here at Capital Investment Advisors. You can find us at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR wealth.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatment will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on fresh Heritage Farm chicken split breasts, drumsticks, or thighs. On sale now for only $1.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Is your heating and cooling system so old you can't remember when it was installed? If so, it's time to get protection from Reliable Heating and Air. Hey friends, it's Mark Aram. Check this out. Let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just coverage for your aging AC and heating systems. Get all the information you need online at reliableair.com. 10:19 on the Mark Aram Show, picking up some volume downtown, live with the latest. Ashley Fresca.
Looking pretty good through the heart of the city, but getting out of the south side ride, that's where you see just a few brake lights leaving Stockbridge on 75 south down to Jotico, and happening in Kennesaw as well. On and off the brakes through the work on 75 northbound, getting up to Barrett Parkway, and looking at trouble likely on the shoulder now on I-20 westbound, leaving Highway 5 through Douglas County. Traffic brought to you by John Foyd. So if you've been hurt on the job, call John Foyd today. Navigating the laws of workers' comp is not something you should take on alone. John Foyd knows workers' comp laws in Georgia. Call their team today. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
We're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's
fascinating impromptu press conference in the Oval Office last night as President Trump started signing those executive orders. Way more interesting, way more informative, and way more entertaining than the inaugural speech. Just my opinion. If you love Trump rally speech, then you love the inauguration speech. I've seen that. I've heard that. It's been done. I was fascinated. He was just taking rapid fire questions from the press yesterday in the Oval Office and just answering it. It was amazing. Off the script, off the cuff Trump. Way better than scripted Trump. I'm going to play a bunch of the audio. Even my boss is going to be mad, but I'm going to play a bunch of that audio from the Oval Office last night because I don't think it got a lot of coverage. Everyone has heard the inaugural address, swearing in, but you didn't hear that impromptu press conference. It was fascinating stuff. Coming back to some breaking news weather-wise.
Where is Hector?
The governor of the great state of Georgia, Brian Kemp, is, I believe, going to be issuing an address around 10:30 a.m., talking about the winter weather. So when the governor approaches the podium, he's not coming in studio, right, Deborah? This is
unfortunately couldn't get him in on such short
notice.
notice.
No, of course. He's going to be addressing the state on the winter weather situation. So as soon as he delivers those remarks, we will carry them live here on WSB. I wonder if anyone's going to ask him about the airport delay right now, if that's weather related or not. 75 minutes at the main checkpoint, 90 minutes at the south checkpoint, and that's the pre-check line. That's supposed to be the fast line. I asked Young Noki, who has TikTok, Were you freaking out, by the way, Nyokes, by the way, when the TikTok was shut down for like 12 hours or whatever?
I will say a little bit, not, but I mean, I can live without it.
Yeah.
But it was like muscle memory.
Sure,
I could go
but-
and look at my phone, and then it'd just be like, oh, not
Yeah.
available.
Did not impact Deborah, Longoria, myself at all.
Not at
All right,
all.
but I tasked you, because you're a TikTok dude, to see if there are any airport videos showing the big backups. And you found just one from this morning, right? Just one?
Yeah, just one. Most of them were from the last snowstorm.
All right, but the script on this, it's a short video. I'm going to play it for you. It says, ATL, I despise you, 3-hour wait day. A 3-hour wait. Let me hear what this video.
Nick and I are literally two idiots. We spend the whole day talking about us and what it's going.
I don't understand the audio.
I don't know what that is.
I don't.
I think it's from a movie.
Oh, okay. But I mean, just supremely long delay. It's got to be more than just
3 hours.
Yeah, that's insane. The only time I've spent 3 hours was in that freaking line at the Bahamian airport.
Bahamian.
Bahamian,
yeah.
whatever. Herschel Walker. He's gonna the new ambassador to the Bahamas. Oh, by the way, I mentioned Rubio got 99-0 on the votes. A very wise person on Twitter. I want to give him a shout out. Cyrix. I don't know. So maybe he got all the votes. That 100th senator might be his replacement that isn't in seat yet. I don't know what that probably makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. But I called it. I said no one's going to say no to Rubio. Bam! I predicted it. I mentioned Trump in the Oval Office yesterday, and I mentioned yesterday during the show, Deborah, about the movers. Like the movers had to do in between Biden and Trump leaving the White House, going to the Capitol for the inauguration, and then when they eventually come back, the movers had to get all the Biden stuff out of there and put all the Trump stuff back in there. I mean, Longoria, like toothbrush, shampoo, like everything.
Why would they just do that a couple days before? Like, do they have to do it that day?
Yeah,
Because Biden was still living
he was
there.
still living there. That might be the best benefit of being the president, is you don't have to do anything for the move. You're just like, I'm the president. Pack my stuff up. Cheech, let's go. Right? Because how stressful is a move? That's one of the most stressful things in life is a move. So they did all that. They got it done as they always do. But apparently there's a new look in the Oval Office. The Oval Office looking a little different today. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez has details.
Photos taken by the Wall Street Journal show the Oval Office now includes a portrait of Benjamin Franklin and a fresh painting of Andrew Jackson. Just like 4 years ago, a painting of George Washington now hangs over the fireplace. A bust of Winston Churchill is back where it was during the first Trump presidency on a table near the fireplace. There's a new silver eagle over the mantel, and the valet button for President Trump to order up Diet Cokes is in place again on his desk and ready to go. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
One of the reporters yesterday in that press conference in the Oval Office asked Trump, is like, hey, do you have the Diet Coke machine, already set up in there? And he was like, dude, I've been here 15 minutes. What? He was like, I'll get to it eventually. But I guess he has in Downton Abbey, it's not called the valet, it's the valet. You have the valet button, and they bring you a Diet Coke. If I were I'm never going to be president, but we'll play my fantasy for a second. The one thing I would add to the Oval Office, soft serve ice cream machine.
That'd be a good one.
Soft serve ice, I've always wanted to get one in the traffic center. But
when you retire,
management's pushed back on that. So
you'll get a plaque with your face on it. It'll be on the ice cream machine.
What would you add into the Oval Office?
Ooh, Dr. Pepper.
A Dr. Pepper
Dr.
fountain?
Pepper fountain.
Deborah, any additions to the?
Not food related.
Not food related.
Yeah.
Bunnies, a little bunny corral.
I don't know, maybe they make a mess though. You got to really clean up after rabbits.
Yeah, but you got people to do that for you.
That's right. You're the president.
You're the president.
Madam President. Yeah, there you go, Madam
Just
President.
a small stage for bands to come in.
There were two portraits. Oh, there you go. A little music corner. I like that. They play. Apparently, Trump had no say in what was going to be as far as the presidential portraits in there. So I asked him. He's like, "What do you think of the new days?" And he's like, "Oh, we got George Washington. He was a good one." And he goes, and then he goes, "Thomas Jefferson. He was a good one." He's like, "All right, I'm good with it." Like they put the old presidential portraits in, and he was very happy that they put Washington and Jefferson in there.
Do you think he would have control over what portraits he wants up there?
Yeah, I mean, he could change it. Yeah, but they just put the placeholders. I've just realized one thing they're going to have to do. They're going to have to lengthen the height of the doors so 6'9" Barron can get in to see his dad. Dude's crazy tall. Good for you, Barron. Hey, 5K day bonus splits. Keyword is card, C-A-R-D. You have until 10:30, just a couple of minutes to get it into the WSB Radio app. Your chance to win $1,000. When we come back, we're either going to hear from Governor Kemp or Scott Slade. Both are amazing. That's next on the Mark Arum Show.
It's no surprise that Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electric continues to grow, and they're looking for good, caring people to join them. If you've got experience as a plumber, electrician, or HVAC tech, give them a call and be part of a great team. Be proud to bring your expertise, knowledge, and patience to homes all across Atlanta, like mine. Ragsdale's experts have been taking care of my home for years. Employees stay with Ragsdale 10, 20, even 30 years. Go to ragsdaleair.com/careers and apply today.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claim's paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Live from the Superior Plain Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. News brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco Dealers. Our top local story: for the second time in less than 2 weeks, snow is heading to the Metro. That's amid a day and a half so far of temperatures at or below freezing. Now, we are expecting an update any moment now from Governor Kemp and other state officials on the matter. But in the meantime, WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards joins us live now. Christina, how much are we expected to get and when?
Great question, and it's really going to depend on where you're located. The south side, including Griffin, Peachtree City, Fayetteville, and even over towards McDonough, expect half an inch to 1 inch of snow. Along I-20, that seems to be the boundary, if you will. So from Philibert into downtown Atlanta and over towards Conyers, that's going to be a quarter of an inch to half an inch. The further north you are, the less snow you're going to get this time around, with only a dusting. A dusting is going to be anticipated for the Alpharetta area.
So, of course, last time, about a week and a half ago, ice was a concern. Is that a concern whatsoever with this event?
No, the one silver lining for all of us being frozen and dealing with temperatures about 10 degrees below the freezing mark. So anything that falls is going to be snow, but that's the caveat. Once it falls and lands on the ground, it's going to stick. So that's why we're watching this.
All right. Well, thank you, Christina. Christina will be back shortly with your full forecast. And also happening today, the Atlanta airport says it is ready for any impacts from that winter weather. FlightAware shows about 160 flights have been canceled there so far. About 120, meanwhile, are delayed. Now, airlines are offering waivers as the storm hits across the south, I should say. Wait times there, though, at the Atlanta airport extremely long right now. So get there early. At last check, every domestic security checkpoint has a wait of at least 75 minutes. Now, the international terminal, a lot better, still under 5 minutes. Definitely get there early. One of those domestic terminal checkpoints was at 90 minutes. Water pipes buried several feet below the ground to provide insulation, but Jason Lee, president of the Georgia Utility Contractors Association, says it's inevitable that problems still arise in cold weather like what we're seeing today in the metro.
With aging infrastructure, there's going to be breaks, but how do we minimize the breaks, and then when they do have breaks, how do we get them back in service as quickly as possible?
All right. Governor Brian Kemp, as I mentioned earlier, is about to speak here momentarily on the situation. They are broadcasting from the GEMA headquarters in Atlanta, and that is as well with multiple emergency officials there. I can see Chris Stallings there from GEMA, and
right,
here
well,
we
good
are.
morning, everybody. Thank you guys for being with us. I just want to thank Director Stallings and the GEMA team, obviously all our local emergency management partners as well. We got Commissioner McMurray and Georgia DOT here with us today, Lieutenant Colonel Kendrick Lowe, Department of Public Safety, Georgia State Patrol, Commissioner Walter Rabin, Department of Natural Resources. His team is out and about, standing by, getting ready to respond with chainsaw crews and other things if needed. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what we've done already to prepare for this winter storm. Yesterday, as you know, I issued the state of emergency for the entire state that runs through January 28th. We'll obviously be fluid on that if needed. The executive order does the same things that we did a week or so ago. Authorizes up 250 members of the Georgia National Guard if needed. Lets DOT get to treating roads and things that they've been doing since Sunday. And this is a large area that Commissioner McMurray will give you an extensive update on what's different about what we're facing now versus what we faced a week ago. Also, to help them be able to move around easy and easily deploy other state assets, we closed state offices, including Capitol Hill today, giving most of our managers and team leaders discretion on whether to open or not, depending on where they are in the state, but just trying to keep people off the roads, let all our folks that we need to be available to focus on preparation. So we got that going on. Also, GEMA and Director Stallings will give an update to close this out, but we're in constant local contact with the EMAs and coordinating with a lot of state agencies, not just on snow and ice participation, but also things like rural water as to freezing pipes and other things. We've got local warming stations are active, and then also, obviously, our utility partners are standing by in case we have power outages and other things. So we're going to let Will Langston give you a weather update, because this is really kind of a move target. It's a lot different from what we were dealing with last week. So we'll let Will do that. Then we'll let Commissioner Murray talk to you about what his team's doing to prep and be ready. Director Stallings will wrap us up, and then we'll take your questions. Will?
Thanks, sir. So we're already starting to see some snowfall show up on the radar in Georgia. We're starting to see it move through southern Alabama, reaching the ground. We're seeing some snowfall reports there. That's expected to continue to move into Georgia throughout the morning and into this afternoon. It's going to take a little bit of time for the snow to reach the ground because the air is so dry it has to actually be saturated to hit the ground. So we could be seeing it on radar throughout the day, but it might take a couple hours or so to actually reach the ground. But once it does so, it could start to accumulate quite quickly, and road conditions could deteriorate pretty rapidly this afternoon as it moves in. There's a winter storm warning in effect for all of central and south Georgia. Counties under the winter storm warning could receive up to 5 inches of snow this afternoon and evening. And then parts of North Georgia, including all of Metro Atlanta, are under a winter weather advisory. That is for up to 2 inches of snow this afternoon and evening. Anywhere that we see snowfall accumulate, we could see, like I mentioned, roads deteriorate very quickly because the air temperatures are going to be near or below freezing and ground temperatures are just above freezing. That snow could melt and then instantly refreeze, similar to past weather events that we've had in the state. So I encourage you to stay off the roads this afternoon and evening if at all possible. Because the temperatures tonight are going to be so cold, anything that sticks today is going to stick around tonight and tomorrow. We're going to get a lot of sunshine tomorrow, which hopefully will help to melt and dry what falls, but it's not going to be very much above freezing, so we could see these impacts lingering through Thursday morning as well. This could be a multi-day event. It is a statewide event. We're not particularly used to seeing snowfall amounts like this in middle and south Georgia. We could see snow anywhere in the state, but the highest amounts are forecast to be in central Georgia and parts of south Georgia this afternoon and evening.
Thank you, Will, for that update. The Georgia Department of Transportation started efforts Sunday morning to basically pre-treat the entire state, starting with our interstates and our critical routes. And we indeed have done that from Florida to Tennessee and from Alabama to South Carolina. Again, focusing on the interstates and the very high volume critical routes first. So we have done what we can in efforts to get ahead of this very large impactful potential for winter weather. And so now we're at the time of seeing the forecast change a little bit and seeing an increase in snowfall, especially in middle and southwest Georgia. And so we're beginning to reposition some of those brine tankers and move them a little further south to try to be able to respond to the freeze or melt and refreeze that Will just talked about in the next day or so. This is, again, a large potential for impact. I have to remind everybody that we cannot be everywhere at once. In fact, the I-20 below area consists of almost 25,000 miles of roadway if we were to treat just 2 lanes. To give you some perspective, that's driving to LA and back to Atlanta 6 times. So this is a very big event. We have 448 snow plows with people ready to go when the winter precipitation starts to fall. But it's just going to take a lot of time to clear that big a roadway. And again, in areas that are not traditionally getting snow. And so we will continue to be agile, look to shift our resources in the directions that we need to go as this snow comes in and potential for freezing rain or ice in the very south part of the state. We see pavement temperatures now from I-85 north being below freezing, but I-85 south to all the way to the state line being above freezing at the moment, which again gives us concern as the snow comes down that it will melt and then refreeze very fast. So this is very reminiscent of what happened in 2014, of where that happened, which causes tremendous travel impacts. Now, what's different from 2014 is obviously we've got a good layer of brine down on most of all the roads. Again, the interstates, the critical routes we are addressing and will continue to address the other state routes across the entire state. This is just going to take time. And so we're asking everybody to just please give time. That means stay at home, try to stay off the roadways. We've seen Metro Atlanta traffic volumes be down just slightly this morning as the state of emergency works, of people sending the message for people to stay home and stay off the roads, and statewide down about 20%. But we really need that cooperation so we can do our job once the snow comes in, and we have a big territory to cover, and we'll stay with it until we can finish and make sure it's safe. But again, just be weather aware and make sure that you're seeing what's going on and trying to stay off the roadway so we can do our job. Now I'd like to turn it over to Director Stallings.
That was Georgia DOT Commissioner Russell McMurray. You're listening to a live press conference from
Good morning.
GEMA.
Thank you, Governor, Commissioner McMurray. it's extremely important that the governor did declare this state of emergency early. What does that do for us? That gives us the ability to start repositioning. And so we put out a lot of assets. As Commissioner Murray mentioned, we learned some lessons from 2014. Some of those were getting assets closer to the area, the impacted area, but also taking, you can't get behind a storm like this. We mentioned that last week, and it's extremely important this for this event as well. But something else that's important to mention is that not only are we monitoring road temperatures, we're also monitoring ground temperatures. And currently right now, those ground temperatures, 4 to 6 inches under the ground, are just a few degrees above freezing. And so as this cold temperature settles, there's going to be a concern for water pipes under the ground. So make sure that if you are in your home, you get those pipes, get those faucets dripping. Go ahead and start that preemptive action. As we saw 2 years ago during Thanksgiving, when we have these extended periods of single-digit and teen temperatures, there's a lot of water pipes that are going to bust. It's going to be in the walls and things of that nature. So make sure that we continue to focus on that. Our critical patients are extremely important. Our sensitive communities. If you have loved ones that are up in age, keep an eye on them. If they lose power over the next couple days, that needs to be addressed quickly. So we've pre-positioned generators so that we can work with communities. We do have one report of death as a result of hypothermia from a critical needs patient that got outside last night. Unfortunately for that family, that's the exact situation that we're talking about. So we want to make sure that we're focused on that recovery and that quick efforts, so we're taking that very seriously. And finally, the last thing I want to mention to you, and it's been mentioned again, is give us space. We need that space to work. Those miles of roads don't clear themselves. We've got to get those trucks out there. We've got to get involved. As you might imagine, South Georgia not accustomed to a lot of snow and ice, and so it's different there. The roads are different. There's a lot of dirt roads that have to be treated differently than just snow plows and brine and things of that nature. So we're going to have to focus on that and making sure we give a proper recovery. But GEMA's certainly here standing by with the governor's direction. Warming stations, you can go to our website, gema.georgia.gov. There's a list of warming stations, needs, and things of that nature. Also following our social medias, we ask that you in the media please share that stuff. As you might imagine, this is, yes, it's a metro event, but your market's not necessarily covering everywhere that this is going to hit. So the more you share it, the more we can get the word out. So we appreciate the cooperation. Thank you, sir.
That was GEMA Director Chris Stallings.
Open it up for questions if anybody.
This is the real deal. This is not a drill. This is what was forecast. It's been almost the worst case scenario is coming. Is that an accurate assessment?
Well, that's one reason I wanted Will to go early in the press conference versus wrapping us up. Last times, I think this weather's so different from last time. We've got a much bigger area like we dealt with Hurricane Helene. You know, it's just a lot wider than most normal storms that we have. We also have the ability, the line, as Will talked about, when you think about from Columbus, Macon, Augusta, and then the Metro line, which is really kind of Atlanta to Athens and Gainesville. There's a big difference in those two lines. You're talking 4 to 5 inches in middle Georgia and below, and then a couple of inches in Metro Atlanta. But if those things shift just a little bit, it can create a lot of havoc. So us, like Commissioner McMurray was talking about, trying to prepare and trying to treat and then trying to respond to such a large area, it's going to be much different than we saw last week when we just had, quite honestly, some nice snowfall in Metro Atlanta. People stayed home and enjoyed that in the morning before things got really cold. This is kind of the reverse of that. It's really cold now, so as soon as we get participation, like Will said, if that participation hits the ground, melts, and then refreezes, all of a sudden you're going to have a lot of chaos out there on the roadways. That's why, you know, people are riding around now but maybe thinking, you know, why are y'all warning us about this? But this could deteriorate very quickly, like it did in 2014. That's what we're trying to avoid. Number one, with messaging for people to adhere to our advice, and I thank them so much for doing that our last storm, but also us getting ahead of things like Russell was talking about, brining that we've been doing since Sunday to help prepare will be helpful, give people time to get moved, get home, get situated. But if this thing hits like it looks like it's coming, and we do get, you know, 3 to 5 inches of snow in a Columbus, Macon, Augusta line, we're just going to have a big territory to be dealing with in rural parts of our state. And lastly, like was mentioned earlier, our local communities in that part of the state and south are just not prepared like people are in the metro Atlanta and up in the northern part of the state.
So you've got exponentially more.
This is Governor Brian Kemp speaking from a press conference at GEMA headquarters, updating the public on the storm situation as snow moves into the state.
Well, I can just tell you this: we're going to give everything we got with everything we got. Arch.
Governor Kemp, could you also talk about you mentioned about the population that are at risk and what they need to know? People are watching now. Should they stay in terms of the 4 Ps? Could you walk through people again just so they know how to be prepared, please?
You want to talk about that?
So, in preparation, thinking about the next couple days, you know, this is not a run on grocery stores. It's not a go buy all the bread, milk, and eggs that you can get your hands on event. This is going to be with us for 36, 48 hours. As I said in the last storm, most everything you've got in your house right now is fine. You'll be just fine. It's more about preparing yourself for the water freezing, your pets being outside, things of that nature. Also preparing your phones. Go ahead and charge those devices should you have a power outage. It's also important that you're thinking about a plan should you lose power. How are you going to warm? So go ahead and get blankets out. Using smart heater and generator safety. You know, don't run those generators in garages. Keep it away from windows. So basic understandings of how to get through the next few days. The temperatures are cold, but turning those faucets on and doing simple preparations are the key to getting through this event.
What time should people be off the road? We all remember 2014, folks being stuck on the roadway. What time should they be off the road?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. Will, I don't know if you got noon. You want to talk, just recap one more time, kind of what we're seeing in the weather? And
So the reason it's difficult is, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take some time for that snow to reach the ground. But the concern is that once it does, it could start to accumulate very quickly and cause roads to not be passable in very short order. So I would say in the metro area and parts of middle Georgia, you probably want to be where you're going to be for a couple of days by noon today, early afternoon at the latest, because we'll start to see things rapidly deteriorate this afternoon.
Will the north edge, if you can?
That's state meteorologist Will Langston, Bill Langston, I should say.
What do you think the north edge will be for that 3 to 5 inches you mentioned?
So for the 3 to 5 inches, the winter storm warning area, so probably south of Metro, but you could get pretty serious impacts from just an inch or two, which is the winter weather advisory area. Right now, models are indicating maybe the I-85 corridor on the north and east side of town might be where that delineation occurs, but it's really difficult to forecast, and there's going to be a gradient. There will be a point where one county gets nothing and the next county gets an inch or two. It's very difficult because you're talking about maybe tens of miles between nothing and a lot.
do you have something?
You talked about the potential for a power outage. Governor, has your office had any conversations with utility companies about a contingency and kind of best, go after that if it happens?
Well, that's why we do the early state of emergency. Director Stallings mentioned about that. The operations center's up. We got our team here. We're already in communications with our partners, Georgia Power, EMCs, our city electrics, local emergency management agencies, rural water. I mean, we're treating this like, any other storm we got. We're in touch with all our partners, all our private sector partners, all our resources, and, they're ready to deploy. I mean, they're thankfully, we have a battle-tested team, not only here, but also our utility partners are as well, and we certainly saw that in Hurricane Helene.
Next week we see at the Atlanta airport, sir. I don't know who's more qualified to answer this, but we're already seeing up to 90-minute delays. A lot of folks leaving for the college football playoff. Can you talk about that?
Well, I'm just glad this storm's coming midday, not this morning, to help get our visitors out of town. Great celebration last night for the college football playoffs, being back here for the second time in the CFP area. I haven't really heard a whole lot of updates from the airport. I mean, they're obviously used to dealing with winter weather as well. There's been a lot of logistical challenges with everything that was going on in Washington, D.C. yesterday. Certainly we're feeling that some here, but also from the playoffs. But right now I think everything's operational at the airport. I know they're doing just like we are. They're preparing, and they'll be ready, and we'll just keep you guys updated when we're getting reports from them.
Ms. Langston, what about first
You're listening to a press conference live from GEMA headquarters in Atlanta. Governor Brian Kemp speaking right now regarding the winter storm making its way in.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say that's another great reason to stay off the roads today, because if you get in an accident, you might be hindering first responders from getting to where they need to go. So my message would be to try and get to where you're going to be for the next day or two by early this afternoon, and give the Department of Transportation the room that they need to do their work on roads, but also stay off so that first responders can get where they need to be.
I think there's a really good point there that we've talked about a lot is by people staying off the roads. If you know, let's say we got tractor trailers that are having to move fuel or whatever else coming through the state, and they have an accident or experience something like what we saw up on 285 in the last storm. We had very little of those last storm. In 2014, we had them everywhere. And so you can't get to people to get them moved, so you can keep mining, so you can keep plowing, so you can keep putting salt out. So the less people we got on the roads, if we do have something like that happen, it allows us to get to those people, clear that roadway, which is imperative if we're trying to get fire trucks or ambulances and our first responders to people that need them. So again, you know, I know it's aggravating dealing with these things, but if people can just do what they need to do in the next hour or so, limit their travel, as Director Stallings said, give people plenty of space between you, so if you get caught out there and things deteriorate quickly, you can respond and react. And let's just, you know, hunker down for a day or so and get some sunshine and warmer weather back in here.
Colonel, for those people who may unfortunately find themselves on the road, could you give us some basic driving tips?
Well, during this time, we ask them to slow down and be patient. You know, if they choose to get out and have to drive in this type of weather, we will have troopers and motor carriers out to assist motorists. If they get stranded out, we'll have them out to assist with motorists and work accidents if needed throughout the state.
All right, thank you guys. We'll keep you updated.
All right, and there you have it. That is a press conference you just heard live here on 95.5 WSB, straight from GEMA headquarters. Governor Brian Kemp and other state officials warning the public about today's winter weather. Of course, the big takeaway from that, I would say, is they are suggesting, I should clarify, people stay off the roads once noon or the early afternoon hours hit as snow starts to fall. So we're going to take a quick break right here, and we will be back with the Mark Arum Show.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messingthorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo.
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, it's Sheldon Winter for BeTheYoungerYouATL.com. I need you, ladies and gentlemen, to call this number right now, 770-415-3000. Schedule a free consultation and receive a complimentary advanced body composition analysis. You need to be on this program. It's a weight loss program that works. It's worked for me, and everybody tells me they see it. I've lost the weight and kept it off. Listen, you need to know what's going on inside your body. It's easy to lose the weight and keep it off only with the BeTheYoungerYouATL.com weight loss program. But you know what's not easy? To see what's going on the inside. And what's going on the inside is high visceral fat levels, just like I had before I joined the BeTheYoungerYouATL.com weight loss program. Please go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com right now or call 770-415-3000.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, the new year is a great time to reconsider how we do things, like how to make things better in 2025. Like when it comes to the whole struggle of how to pay for your health care, people generally are not happy with the status quo. But there's good news. There's a much better option, and it's proven. Medi-Share is refreshing. You can save thousands of dollars a year. Many save up $500 a month, seriously, and you get to choose from a huge network of doctors and providers. And maybe the best part, and we know this from research on why people join Medi-Share, they love this. Instead of sending your money every month to a huge corporation that might fund all sorts of procedures or things you don't believe in, you're joining a faith-based network of people who actually care about each other. And like I said, that's refreshing. There is a better option. You don't have to do it the way you've always done it. You can make a change and start saving now. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
This holiday season is all about gratitude. This is Scott Slade, and to share in that spirit, I'd like to share a few heartfelt thank yous my friends at MyLand have received recently.
I was in such a financial bind with heavy credit card debt dating back to COVID. MyLand went above and beyond to save me over $500 per month and eliminated the high interest rates on my credit cards. What a relief. I will be referring my family and friends to MyLand. Thank you.
Folks, I could read testimonials and stories like this for days. If you haven't taken the time to call MyLand to see what options are available for you to save money with your refinance, you need to set aside a few minutes and do just that. Call MyLand, 770-817-2000. 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com, spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. One of our clients, Tiffany, said, Mark Spain Real Estate was wonderful in answering any questions I had along the way. Find out what your guaranteed offer will be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had two sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000. And the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
800-935-6077. 800-935-6077. 800-935-6077. Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
News, weather, traffic.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. News brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top local story is that winter weather making its way into the metro, and it's certainly cold right now with that potential snowfall coming as well. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has been following the storm. Joins us live now. Christina, what are we going to see today across the metro?
Well, we're looking at anywhere from half an inch to 1 inch of snowfall along and south of I-20. So the half inch would be for Carrollton. 1 inch would be closer towards Griffin and McDonough, up to 1 inch of snowfall for Covington. Further north, talking about the north side of the metro, it's more like a dusting.
So up to a quarter of an inch for Roswell, Alpharetta, Sandy Springs, and that's extending up into Gainesville. Austin.
Thank you, Christina. And Christina will rejoin us in a little bit for Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast. Well, we just got an update moments ago from state officials. That includes Governor Brian Kemp and several other officials about the situation and preparations for the storm. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien is live at headquarters. Jonathan.
That's right, Austin. And many of the concerns we've been hearing from Christina are the same concerns shared by state officials here at Georgia Emergency Management Headquarters. They say they are watching this storm and they call it very fluid. The DOT, of course, has been working on treating the roads. We've been reporting on the road situation for days now. They say volumes here in Metro Atlanta are down a bit, but 20% down statewide. They say they've learned a lot of lessons from 2014. They're monitoring the ground temperatures there. They did say they have had one hypothermia-related death in the state from a critical care patient that got out. They say if things continue on the track that they are going, and if they shift slightly, it will wreak havoc. Those are the words of the governor, and things could deteriorate very quickly. State officials are worried about this large territory they have to deal with. They say it's reminiscent of the area they had to cover with Helene. Their best advice: stay home, be home, and be where you're going to be by noon today. Reporting live at GEMA headquarters, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Thanks, Jonathan. The winter weather also having an impact on flights today at the Atlanta airport. FlightAware currently showing about 160 cancellations so far, over 100 delays as well. And some of those major airlines are offering waivers as a result. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines has a Gulf Coast winter weather advisory through Wednesday, while JetBlue, United, Southwest also notifying customers of potential delays and cancellation. On top of that, security lines extremely long right now as many leave Atlanta after the national championship game last night. The Main North and Lower North checkpoints all have waits of 75 minutes at last check. International much shorter at only about 5 minutes. While those frigid temperatures are putting utility services to the test.
Water lines are buried at least 3 feet deep to insulate from extreme cold, but Georgia Utility Contractors Association President Jason Lee says there's a cold truth about our water utilities.
When dealing with an aging infrastructure, things can and will happen.
Lee says the repairs actually provide an opportunity in one respect.
Hey, while we're here making a repair, let's go on and try to improve the system in this area to try to bring it up to date if possible.
Lee adds that the key is to have a coordinated plan so crews and equipment are available for a quick response when breaks occur. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is 11:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, we have live team coverage of traffic and weather. Chinway is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Good morning. If you're traveling on the north side of Atlanta, we've got a stalled vehicle taking out the center lane, Georgia 400 northbound, just before Windward Parkway, exit 11, causing you some minor delays in that area. I'm Chinway Maponia Cook, 95.5 WSB.
Light snow showers. Light snow showers are now falling throughout Coweta County, starting to get a report of some light snow near Noonan and Peachtree City. I do anticipate more snow showers for the rest of the metro region between now and 6 p.m. We will see up to 1 inch of snowfall accumulation throughout Sonoya, Griffin, Hampton, Locust Grove, and Covington. Around the I-20 corridor, Mableton, Austell into Lithonia, expect up to ½ an inch. And then for Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Canton, and Flower Branch, it'll be a light dusting to a quarter of an inch of accumulation. Today's high is 32. Very cold tonight, low 15. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 36. Live in the Storm Center, meteorologist Christina Upwards.
It's 28 degrees right now in Stockbridge, 27 in Alpharetta, and 29 in Midtown. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you.
10:05 on a very chilly, now starting to snow Tuesday edition of Mark Arum Show. The crew and I with you till noon. Deborah's got some Willie Nelson tickets to give away this hour. And then don't forget, right after the noon news, I'll give you another keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. We took that press conference live, heard from the governor. We heard from Russell McMurray, the DOT commissioner, head of GEMA, Chris Stallings, and GEMA meteorologist Will Langston. Let me play some of what you, in case you're just joining us, you missed what the GEMA meteorologist had to say about the winter weather situation currently.
Because the temperatures tonight are going to be so cold, anything that sticks today is going to stick around tonight and tomorrow. we're going to get a lot of sunshine tomorrow, which hopefully will help to melt and dry what falls, but it's not going to be very much above freezing, so we could see these impacts lingering through Thursday morning as well.
All right, so impacts till Thursday. More from the GME meteorologist.
And this could be a multi-day event. It is a statewide event. We're not typically used to seeing snowfall amounts like this in middle and south Georgia. Could see snow anywhere in the state, but the highest amounts are forecast to be in central Georgia and parts of south Georgia this afternoon and evening.
Now, one of the things that Deborah and I shot up, we were in here listening to the press conference like you were, when he said that in the metro area, central Georgia and parts of the metro area, that wherever you are at noon today, plan on being there for the next couple. And you and I were like, what? What?
Yeah, does that mean I can't go home?
No, you should definitely go home.
Does that mean I come back tomorrow? That's my concern.
Yeah, I'm definitely going home for sure. I don't know. That's interesting. So we'll see what Will Langston's forecast, how it jives with Christina's forecast. Maybe we should 86 our meeting with Ken after the show. Let's postpone that.
I think that's going on already.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So never mind. But anyway, we're going to monitor the cold weather temperatures and the possibility of snow. Well, as Christina said, already some flurries falling there. Now, speaking, we're getting back to the Trump transition. By the way, any moment now, Trump and Vance are going to attend a prayer service at the Washington National Cathedral. Might want to dip into that at some point. But I do want to talk about the cold weather. And I had Young Noki pull this audio yesterday. I think it was on Instagram or Facebook. Listen, I've been in the South since '96. I've adopted a lot of the Southern culture. I haven't nailed all of the Southern sayings. Like the language of the South is unique, just like the language of the Midwest
like
is
stuff
unique.
about wet hens.
Just
Yes.
these old Southern sayings. And I saw this video, I think it was on Facebook, of this woman, this pretty lady going through all these Southern expressions when it comes to cold weather. And I hadn't heard of most of these. So I had Gnocchi clean up the audio. I'm going to play it for you. These are Southern winter sayings, which I think is appropriate when, as Christina said, we're going to be below freezing for like 48 hours.
Oh, it's colder than a mother-in-law's kiss. So cold, my plumber pulled his pants up. It's kind of cold to freeze the hinges right off the gates of hell. It's so cold, the chickens are lining up to get in the oven. It's colder than a room full of ex-wives at a wedding. It's kind of cold to freeze the off a pool table. It's so cold, the thermostat just gave me the middle finger. This cold is meaner than a skillet full of rattlesnakes. Cold enough to freeze a off a brass monkey. It's so cold, the Statue of Liberty put the torch inside her dress. It's so cold, the flashers are only showing pictures. It's cold enough I saw squirrels throw themselves at electric fences.
Are those legit, or is that she just making those up? I have no idea. I've never heard of any of those. I've heard colder than a witch's blank, which I don't understand, or a well diggers. I don't even know. See, that's why I don't know them by heart. The Southern colloquial sayings, so I don't use them.
Well, Kobe's from the South, right?
Colby, what
You're
is it?
from
Colder
here.
than a gravedigger's tush? What is? You're not familiar with that?
I knew the first one you said.
Colder than a witch's blank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my grandfather used to say that one.
Oh, sorry. So that's nationwide.
Well, we're in
international.
South Texas. So.
What's it colder than a well digger something? Tushy? No, it doesn't
Somebody
sound
will
right.
call in and know.
Yeah, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. What? Because I'd never heard my favorite one. It's so cold that which flashers are only showing pictures. I think she just made those up. Those cannot be long. I've been here long enough. Captain Herb gave for these Southern sayings. I never heard of any of those. Well digger's something. Colder than a well digger's thing. You'll find it for me. Anyway, it's cold out there. It's officially, and I just posted it on Twitter. It's a 1 on the Mark Aram Show back sweat meter. Anyway, so the snow flurries have started. Christina's not leaving. Deborah and I are going to leave at some point today, but Christina's here. She brought in bagels and hot chocolate. She'll be fine. But if you have any other, old school Southern cold, why not? Let's refresh our memories.
Clean ones, of course.
Yeah, clean ones. For the radio,
Yeah.
please. Say for the radio. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. I do want to update the January 6th pardon. So I've been monitoring reaction. I mentioned that not everyone's happy that President Trump gave blanket pardons and commutations to everyone arrested or charged in January 6th. Our Capitol Hill correspondent, Scott McFarland, is up there asking senators about the pardon. So I'm just going to do he did a Twitter thread here. Senator Mark Blackburn, Republican from Tennessee. Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican from Louisiana. I don't know what Gnocchi's doing. Somebody put someone on there. Okay, good. They both declined multiple requests to comment on the pardons. Senator Susan Collins from Maine says she does not support pardons for those who were violent, but says she's not yet sure who was pardoned. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama said January 6 defendants have already served enough time, and he says he has seen video of rioters hitting police. Really? Senator Jim Banks, Republican from Indiana, says the media should focus on Biden pardons, not Trump pardons. I think the media should focus on both pardons. Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina, a Republican, said he was surprised by, quote, blanket pardon for January 6 defendants, not something that he agrees with. Senator Banks and Tillis both argue the media should focus more intently on Biden pardons than Trump pardons. Banks did so at length. Senator John Cornyn from Texas answered questions on January 6 pardons by talking about Biden's pardons instead. And Senate Majority Leader John Thune from South Dakota on the January 6 pardon said, quote, we're looking backwards. We're not looking backwards. We're looking forwards. I think, and we discussed them both. Right? That was the first question I asked Stephen Portnoy from ABC News were about Biden's preemptive pardons. Definitely got to question those, but I think there should be questions raised for the violent offenders that were pardoned by President Trump. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go deep into these southern cold weather sayings. Well diggers, tush. Nah, that's not it. We'll get to the bottom of it. Any ones you want to throw at us, why not? Let's have some fun on this chilly Tuesday. As the snow has started to fall in Metro Atlanta, our winter weather coverage continues next on the Mark Arum Show.
Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States.
We will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice.
He laid out bold plans for the country.
We will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength.
What effect it has on you.
We'll have it covered for you.
I am with you. I will fight for you. I will win for you.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Anything better when the temperatures drop and it's freezing outside and you're nice and toasty inside? I can't wait. Hey, it's Mark here. Back from my friends Reliable Heating Air. Check out this amazing furnace offer going on right now. $59.99 a month. That's it for any size furnace. And ask about their clean air upgrades. Stay warm and toasty with my friends at Reliable Air. Schedule your free consultation today by visiting reliableair.com. That's reliableair.com.
Jewelry Graham, it's your friends at Shane Company here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart, like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural rubies, colorful sapphires, and natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty and everyday competitive prices. Come visit us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health. I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual Imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
Sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Oh, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee. It's back, but only for a limited time. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
11:18 on the Mark Arum Show. We know it's cold on the roads. Is it slow on the roads? Can you tell us, Chinwei?
Not too shabby right now, Mark. But in Clayton County, we got a crash. Travel advisory crash taking out 3 right lanes on I-75 northbound just past Central Avenue. Exit 239 is causing you some delays on the south side. I'm Chinwei Maponya Cook, 95.5 USB.
Transportation started efforts to basically pre-treat the entire state, starting with our interstates and our critical routes. And we indeed have done that from Florida to Tennessee and from Alabama to South Carolina.
That's the commish. DOT Commissioner Russell McMurray during the press conference you heard live here on WSB from the GEMA headquarters. We heard the governor, the commish, Chris Stallings from GEMA, and GEMA meteorologist Will Langston. He is obviously following the winter weather and the cold snap, as is Christine Edwards. She will update her full 5-day forecast again at the bottom of the hour. But in honor of the absolutely frigid temperatures, wind chills were in single digits. Even my dogs are like, we're going to do our business. We're running back in. When the dogs are like, this is too cold, you know it's too cold. Try to get to the bottom of these old Southern sayings when it comes to cold weather. And please, appropriate for the air. That being said, Mike was the first to answer. Colder than a well digger's tush is what I use for the word. Is it, what's the actual, if you can, Mike, what's the actual continuation of that phrase?
No, Mark, my answer is very clean. This answer is from the 1950s and 60s, from my grandfather and my father from upstate New York. It was always colder than a well digger's butt.
But, all right, Deborah, you're the official
that you can get away with.
moral barometer.
Yeah.
But, all right, colder.
No,
now, why?
That's the correct answer.
Why is a well digger's butt cold?
Because well diggers go deep underground, and
it gets cold down there.
I've been involved in digging up wells for the last 2 years.
Oh.
For missing persons.
Oh.
And I can tell you, when you get down 32.
Hold on. All right. Hold on now, Mike. Hold on.
Yep.
Well, please tell me if you're digging wells to look for missing persons that your calendar is not full. Like that would seem like to be a rare that someone's like, we got to go to Well Digger in here because we're missing somebody.
Yes, I'm a retired FBI agent. I work for the Walton Sheriff's Office. I'm a cold case homicide investigator.
And with all those
And
credentials,
my-
you're digging wells?
I still work. We're on a case looking for Justin Gaines, who went missing from Gwinnett County in 2007. And a lot of the leads put him being placed in wells
Oh, really?
in several metro counties.
So,
Yes,
but it's
pretty
cold.
sad.
It's cold. That is very so cold down there is what you're saying.
It's cooler and it can be wet if you hit water, and it's a process. It takes 3 or 4 hours to get the county roads and bridges out. Whatever county we've dug holes in Barrow and Walton County,
Good
and
grief.
to dig a hole that's 33 feet deep, you're covering a lot of ground just to get the equipment down that deep.
That's amazing. Well, hey, Mike, thanks for your service. It's not FBI, but it's GBI. But you watch Will Trent on ABC?
I have. It's more comedic. I have watched it.
Yeah, I
And,
watched the latest. So it comes out Tuesday night. So there's a new episode tonight. I caught up last night because I was out of town. Love that show. Absolutely love the show. Thanks so much, Mike. Our buddy Pierce is in Murrayville. What's going on, Pierce?
Well, it ain't snowing, I know that.
Good. Yet.
Not yet. Well, we probably won't get it. It's going to stay south down there with you guys. But anyway, my dad had one that was always a good one. He said it was so cold, he saw 2 hound dogs hooking jumper cables up to a jackrabbit.
I can't even figure that one out. But any Southern saying that includes hound dogs, I'm down with. As an owner of a hound dog, I do appreciate that. James out Covington way. James, welcome to the Mark Aram Show.
Hey, Mark, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure, Biggin.
Hey, the story I always heard about the well digger that applies to a grave digger too is once you start digging a water well or a grave, it doesn't matter what the weather is, you can't stop until it's finished. So if it's really cold out there, your rear end is going to get cold too.
Oh, you can't. I didn't know that was a rule. You start digging in a well or a grave, there's no breaks. Like, I'll come back and finish it tomorrow.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
There you go. James and Covington got a couple on Twitter. Colder than a polar bear's toenails. I don't think that's Southern. I think that's ubiquitous. Yeah, it's universal. I think a lot of people do that. Chris in Flowery Branch. Chris, give me your Southern cold saying.
Hey, Mark, love your show, man.
Thank you, brother.
So, so this is the new 2025. It is colder than the shady side of a baker's heart.
A bankers, Bankers.
Correct.
It's called. Say the whole phrase for me. That's a good one.
Okay. It's colder than the shady side of a banker's heart.
All right. I have never heard that one. That's a brand new one. Daniel is coming to. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mark, I was going to say colder than a polar bear's toenails also, but, that's from the rap group Outkast.
Oh, you're right. So maybe that's why it's universal. Maybe it was a Southern saying, but Outkast put an album and it became universal. Interesting. Colder than. All right, Longoria, I'm going to put a musical request in. Colder than a polar bear toenails from Outkast.
You want it right now?
No. Just later on the show. Just later on the show. Quickly updating more from the Georgia DOT Commissioner Russell McMurray on the winter weather watch.
This is a large potential for impact. I have to remind everybody that we cannot be everywhere at once.
And 6,000 miles, I believe, is the amount of road that they're treating with the brine and salt. The concern now, though, is going to be, and I just drove up 75 through South Georgia, but I can't even imagine them getting snow down there. We rarely get it. Imagine Valdosta, those areas, they never get snow. Still recovering. Speaking of which, still recovering from the hurricanes. Do you know down in Northport, Florida, in the hotel, most of the people in the hotel were linemen, like from out of state.
Still working?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was talking to these dudes. They were from all over the country, and I was like, is it cool that you're down here helping out? And they're like, it was cool for the first couple of weeks, but like we've been living in a hotel for 4 months now. We got to get out of here. So the linemen were down there, and that they did love the continental breakfast, the free breakfast there at the Wyndham or whatever the heck I was staying at. All right, Austin's got your news, weather, and traffic. Chrissy's getting your forecast. When we come back to day 2 of the second term of the Trump presidency, and we'll continue our coverage of the winter weather. And Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Willie Nelson. Social media is active at Mark Arum and WSB Radio. In fact, I posted a bunch of pictures of the Braves fantasy camp on my Instagram page. Check it out, at Mark Arum, MarkArum.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000. Or visit us at TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Your attic is like a 5-star resort to critters, and they're ready to move in. Scott Seed here from Breda Pest Management. If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to get a highly trained expert to kick those critters out. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if any critters return, you're covered at no additional cost. Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business.
Snowfall. The ice isn't looking like quite as much of a concern this time around. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has had a close eye on the storm as it makes its way into the metro. Christina, what makes this storm different from what we saw about a week and a half ago?
So they were both Gulf lows. The difference is that 10 days ago, we got so much more snowfall because the center of that low was right on top of the coastline. This time, the center of the low was well offshore. So believe it or not, the majority of the snow is going to be falling in New Orleans as well as Dothan, Alabama, Pensacola. But for us, it's going to be flurries for our northern suburbs. The greater amount of snow for us will be on the south side, as much as half an inch to 1 inch of snow for, say, the Newnan, Griffin
and McDonough areas.
Thanks, Christina. And Christina, we'll have your full forecast here in just a couple minutes. Well, state officials gather this past hour at Georgia Emergency Management Headquarters to give an update on how they've prepared for the storm and what the public should know. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien's live there and reports there's actually been one death related to the cold weather. Jonathan.
Yeah, and GEMA Director Chris Stallings not giving many details on that death, only saying it was a critical needs patient that got out and died from hypothermia. Message from state officials is a familiar refrain: stay warm and stay off the roads. Governor Kemp says the large area of impact is causing them to spread out resources.
This weather is so different from last time. We got a much bigger area like we dealt with Hurricane Helene. It's just a lot wider than most normal storms that we have.
Last time, of course, referring to just a couple of weeks ago, state officials stressing that this is a different event. They were urging folks to get where they're planning to go for a while by noonday. Reporting live at GEMA headquarters, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you, Jonathan. And that weather's causing some extensive delays and cancellations at the Atlanta airport as well. FlightAware shows about 200 flight delays so far there, with about 180 cancellations. Most major airlines are offering waivers to those impacted by the storm, and also happening all in the middle of this at the airport, extreme waits at security checkpoints. All of the domestic checkpoints at Atlanta airport are at 75 minutes. That's except for the pre-check at 50 minutes. International checkpoint, however, just a mere 5 minutes. Well, local plumbers say these extended freezing temperatures will wreak havoc on a home's plumbing system. Tim Winterstein with Royal Flush Plumbing says it's all hands on deck this week.
The water inside pipes, whether they be underground homes, in the yards, in the walls, in the garage, they freeze. And when they freeze, they expand and contract. Once they thaw, they spring leaks.
He says during the last deep freeze, the company responded to about 1,500 calls for burst pipes. It's 11:33. We have live team coverage of traffic and weather now. Chinwei is standing by in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Clayton County still watching for a travel advisory crash blocking multiple right lanes on I-75 northbound just past Central Avenue, exit 239, causing you some delays on the south side as you're trying to work your way to the airport. I'm Chinwei Ponya Cook, 95.5 WSB.
And I'm 95.5 WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. The snow showers right now are in Columbus, Georgia. They are slowly drifting further east and northeast. So I do have a few reports of snow showers in the Newnan as well as downtown Atlanta areas. I anticipate snow showers to be moving through between now and 6 p.m. Now we're looking at the majority of the accumulation being on the south side. 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snowfall likely from Carrollton into Newnan, as well as Hapeville into the Griffin area, extending further east into Conyers and Covington. North of I-20, it's going to be a dusting no more than 1/2 inch. All of this is done by 6 o'clock, but be aware temperatures are dropping into the mid-teens for tonight. Today's high, by the way, is only 32. Live in the Storm Center, meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Right now it's 28 degrees in Beaufort, also 28 in College Park, and 28 as well in Midtown. More news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5-a-day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
on 95.5 WSB.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
President Trump last night in the Oval Office pardoning the January 6th defendants. We'll update the Trump presidency, and Deborah Green's got tickets to see Willie Nelson. She'll give those away next on the Mark Arum Show.
Your roof has been working overtime lately. Heavy rain and severe storms have impacted our area again. So how did your roof hold up? Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show here. Water is your home's #1 enemy. Heavy rain, severe storms like we've had recently can expose roof leaks and lead to water damage. I recommend you schedule a free roof analysis with my roofer, Finley Roofing. The roof guys. If your roof is leaking or damaged, it's possible that you don't even see any signs yet, but you can see water inside. Look around. Check your attic, ceiling, drywall, and chimney area. Do you see dripping water, wet spots, or water streaks? If yes, think of Finley first. Finley Roofing is locally owned and operated. They always follow the golden rule to treat you right, and I trust them in my home. You can trust them too. Get peace of mind with no obligation and no charge. Schedule your free roof analysis at finleyroofing.com. Roof.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219.
If your energy bills are higher than they should be, if allergies seem to be worse, chances are you have leaky air ducts. MediClean Air Pros will seal your leaky ducts with AeroSeal, saving you on your energy bills. Visit MediCleanAirPros.com. MediCleanAirPros.com.
11:37 on this chilly and flurry-filled Tuesday edition of the Mark Aram Show. A reminder, in about 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus splits. 5 chances every day for you to win $1,000. Listen for the keywords at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. You'll have 30 minutes to enter the keyword. One lucky listener gets $1,000. But Deborah, we don't have to wait 30 minutes to give something away. Where did you come up with this prize pack?
Yeah, this is pretty great. Willie Nelson's going to be down in Macon, playing at the Atrium Health Amphitheater, and that show is April 13th. They have a pair of tickets to give away.
And do you get to stay with Erickson? Is that part of the prize pack?
I think it's going to fly you back and forth.
Oh, there you go. All right. I've never seen Willie live. One of my favorite songs of all time is the duet Willie and Eddie Vedder, Breathe. You know that song I'm talking about?
I know the Jam song very well, and I know his contribution to it. Yes, one of my favorite songs.
God, that is such a good song. Anyway, let's do the 15th caller in Yoke. 15th caller to 404-872-0750 will win a pair of tickets to see Willie Nelson in Macon. You don't get to stay with Erickson, by the way. That's not part of the prize pack. You just get tickets to see that amazing show. 15th caller to 404-872-0750. Continue to monitor the winter weather here. Again, Christina's not going anywhere. She will continuously update the 5-day forecast. We've been talking about the weather and the Trump transition. I neglected to talk about the fact that the confirmation hearings are ongoing. Doug Collins, who has been tasked to head up the VA, finally got whatever was holding up the FBI background check. He's been being grilled, questioned by senators today.
Been asked by doing this job, why do I want to go into the VA? And it's sort of been interesting. I've had some say, congratulations. I've had some say, what are you doing? It's a large undertaking. And I said, well, I'm taking this, number one, because I care for people and I care for veterans.
And more from Doug Collins at the confirmation hearing this morning.
We've got to get back to the part where it's about the veteran itself. And I'm going to want to empower a workforce that wants to get up every day and come to and say, I'm getting to this veteran, so they get the help they need.
Now, I crushed the Marco Rubio prediction that he was going to get confirmed unanimously. I want to say the same for Doug Collins, but I think that for some reason it's going to be like 97-3. There's going to be like 3 that are like, nah, maybe. Hopefully it'll be unanimous. Anyway, we'll monitor the Doug Collins confirmation hearings here in Georgia. And tomorrow, we had to bump Scott Slade because of the governor's press conference. Scott's going to join us tomorrow and go in depth on all the Georgia connections that President Trump's going to have in his second cabinet and the second West Wing. So Scott Slade's going to join us with that tomorrow. I apologize to Scott. He's such a trooper, though. He's like, I understand. You got to take the press conference. All right, I've been teasing this all morning. Now, if it's the beginning of the show, I listen. The inaugural speech by Trump, if you love the campaign speech, then you love that inaugural speech. That's what it was, campaign speech. But it was scripted. You could tell he's reading a teleprompter. That's not my favorite version of Trump. The campaign speech, I like when Trump is off script. And he was off script for over 30 minutes last night in the Oval Office as he was signing the executive orders. And there were, I don't know, a dozen reporters in the Oval Office with him. And as he's signing, he's just answering questions. I want to play some of the audio last night. To me, it was fascinating, enlightening, informative. And this is the real Donald Trump.
I'm not happy with Denmark, as you know. I think they're happy with us. We had representatives, my son and representatives went up there 2 weeks ago, and they like us. So we'll see what happens. But Greenland is necessary, not for us, it's necessary for international security. You have Russian boats all over the place, you have China boats all over the place, warships. And they can't maintain it.
You're going to be talking with Vladimir Putin.
Who?
You're going to meet President Putin, sir.
I'll be meeting with President Putin.
When?
I don't know, I can't speak set up. So the first foreign trip typically has been with UK, but I did it with Saudi Arabia last time because they agreed to buy $450 billion worth of our product. I said, I'll do it, but you have to buy American product, and they agreed to do that. They bought $450 billion. It was the least reported story I've ever been involved in.
And now, or are you planning to go now?
Well, I don't know. If Saudi Arabia wanted to buy another 450 or 500, we'll up it for all the inflation.
Mr. President, you say you were going
think
to
I
end the
probably
wars first day. How do you plan to end the Ukraine war?
Well, we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible.
Do you want to push Israel and Saudi
It should have
Arabia?
never started. You know, the war with Ukraine and Russia should have never started. It would have never started if I were president.
Will you push Israel and Saudi Arabia to normalize relations?
I don't think I have to push it. I think it's going to happen, but maybe not quite yet. They'll end up being in the Accords.
So I'm going to play it. This is so much, to me, just as a listener, this is so much better than the inauguration speech. This is him just riffing. And the sound you're hearing is he's not signing wood, Longoria. He's signing, that's the pen, the Sharpie on the executive orders. That's what you're hearing. All right, back to the impromptu press conference last night in the Oval Office. Of course, computer error. Let's try this.
In your business. And they'd have a great partner. The U.S. would be their partner. But the U.S. essentially would be paid for doing that half of the value of TikTok.
Would be a private sector owner as
Could
well?
be, yeah, could be a lot. Tell you what, every rich person has called me about TikTok.
You wanted to block TikTok. Why did you change your mind?
Because I got to use it. And remember, TikTok is largely about kids, young kids. If China's going to get information about young kids, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, I think we have bigger problems than that. But you know, when you take a look at telephones that are made in China and all the other things that are made in China, military equipment made in China, TikTok, I think TikTok is not their biggest problem. But there's big value in TikTok if it gets approved. If it doesn't get approved, there's no value. So if we create that value, why aren't we entitled to like half?
Sir, if you don't have any days, will you shut them down?
Does Biden ever do news conferences like this?
No.
How many news conferences, Peter, has he done like this?
Like this?
None.
0.
And it would 0 for the next infinity. For infinity, it would be 0.
Mr. President, you please talk to President Musk to help implement the executive orders? I think you mentioned implementation.
Elon, no. Elon's very busy sending rocket ships up to various places with lots of satellites on them.
What is your reaction to the confirmation of Marco Rubio, and what does it mean for Latin America?
Which one?
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio. You said Marco. Marco
Rubio.
Yeah, he's, I think he's great. I think Marco's doing a fantastic job. I think he's going to get a lot of votes. I think he's going to be at 90% or something. I mean, I'm hearing very good. People know him. They know him in the Senate. They know he's good. He's doing a good job. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know what's going to happen with that. He's got some very strong ideas now, Marco.
You signed the TikTok order?
Yeah.
Yes, that was just signed. President Marco Rubio said yesterday.
Just signed it.
How many
Still changing Venezuela, changing power. Are you still committed with Maduro leaving power in Venezuela?
Well, we're going to find out about that too, because we're going to probably stop buying oil from Venezuela. We don't need their oil.
another embargo like the first term?
Well, it could be, but we don't want to buy, we don't have to buy their oil. We have plenty of oil for ourselves, so
President Trump,
it'll change Venezuela quite a bit.
President Trump, there was a lot of concern about this during the campaign. The question that only works today: are you a dictator on day one?
No.
I mean, come on. That's gold, Jerry. That's gold. I would rather listen to 30 minutes of that than a campaign speech or a rally speech. I hope he keeps doing that. I really hope he was. I mean, no script. They asked him questions. There was no hesitation. He had the answers. Keep that up. That was just, milk and honey. That was phenomenal. I want to play the whole half hour, but we got to go. Hey, congrats to Sarah in Canton. She won a pair of tickets to see the legend, Willie Nelson, down in Macon, Georgia. April 14th, Deborah?
April 13th.
April 13th. Are we going to have more of those to give away, maybe?
All week?
All week long. Willie Nelson tickets and a chance for you to win $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus splits. Next keyword, come up after the new news on 95.5 WSB.
When the weather is at its worst,
it'll be just the beginning of the weather we're going to get.
We're at our best.
Tracking a blast of very cold air.
Check in often for updates on how it will affect you and your commute.
Crash now shutting down Holcomb Ridge Road entirely.
Tune in often for the latest.
Temperatures down into the teens to low 20s.
95.5 WSB, your severe weather station.
We all hear the radio ad about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with kids, no matter where you are. Call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions, real people.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shelley Winter for D. Geller & Son. When I was looking for an engagement ring, I could have gone anywhere, but I wanted to go to a place where I knew I can get better quality hand-picked diamonds and an unbeatable value. An incredible selection, custom designs, and they have on-site jewelers and an expert staff helped me because they're trained gemologists. They have 3 convenient locations, Atlanta, Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com. Go to dgeller.com right now and be like me. Get the best quality diamond you'll ever get for her in your life.
This is Greg Trusinski from the Original Mattress Factory. I want to share the story of a couple I worked with recently. After receiving a quote from a competitor for a mattress, they visited OMF and found a mattress that was a great fit for them. They were so pleased with our quality and value that they ended up purchasing 2 mattresses, a box spring, headboard, and frame. Their total at OMF was roughly $400 less than what they would have spent on just the one mattress at the competitor. If you're ready to get better sleep for less, visit us at originalmattress.com.
You do not want to miss this. Call Zero Res Carpet Cleaning to get 3 rows of carpet plus a free hallway for only $109. That's right, 3 rooms plus a free hallway for only $109. You only have a few days to take advantage of this sweet deal. Zero Res can bring your carpets back to life with their exclusive cleaning technology. By using ZR water, Zero Res is tough on your carpet stains without using soaps or harsh chemicals. The best part is your carpets will stay cleaner longer, so you and your family can continue walking on soft and fluffy carpets day after day. Don't just take my word for it. Zero Res has over 20,000 reviews and a 4.9 rating on Google. They don't run this sale often, so don't wait. Call 770-242-1313 today to get 3 rooms of carpet cleans and a free hallway for only $109 before it's too late. Use code SELL19 at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about the hassle of constant cleaning and making costly repairs. With the guaranteed offer from Spain Real Estate, you can receive an all-cash offer and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Healthy, beautiful skin can be yours with Olansky Dermatology. They're experts in aesthetic and medical skincare needs, including Mohs surgery. Schedule online 24/7 at their Cumming, Roswell, and Buckhead locations with new convenient evening and Saturday hours at their Buckhead office. 40 years as Atlanta's premier dermatology practice, they're your trusted skincare specialist. Visit OlanskyDermatology.com for an appointment with Atlanta's top dermatologist. Olansky Dermatology and Aesthetic, where everyone deserves healthy skin.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
The new year is a great time to reconsider how we do things, like how to make things better in 2025. Like when it comes to the whole struggle of how to pay for your health care, people generally are not happy with the status quo. But there's good news. There's a much better option, and it's proven. MediShare is refreshing. You can save thousands of dollars a year. Many save up to $500 a month, seriously. And you get to choose from a huge network of doctors and providers. And maybe the best part, and we know this from research on why people join MediShare, they love this. Instead of sending your money every month to a huge corporation that might fund all sorts of procedures or things you don't believe in, you're joining a faith-based network of people who actually care about each other. And like I said, that's refreshing. There is a better option. You don't have to do it the way you've always done it. You can make a change and start saving now. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
11:52 on the Mark Arum Show. How about better news on Atlanta's South Side? Live with the latest. Here's Chinway.
That's right. That crash was 10 out 3 right lanes, and now it's cleared. I-75 northbound just past Central Avenue, exit 239. So we can already see the delays are improving in the South Side. This report is sponsored by Vestas. For the people who make it all work, Vestas delivers quality uniforms and workplace supplies for your business needs. Learn more at Vestas.com. I'm Chinway Maponya Cook, 95.5 WSB.
With hostages, including Americans, still held in Hamas's captivity, national security challenges ranging from China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran, it has never been more critical for the United States to lead with strength and moral clarity.
Confirmation continues. That was Representative Elise Stefanik making her case to be the country's next UN ambassador on Capitol Hill. I believe Stefanik's going to get through with flying colors. I don't think it'll be unanimous like Marco Rubio was, but interesting situation there. We haven't had a chance to go check out the conference. It's been such a busy news day. That being said, the big local story, obviously the winter weather. My thought is that everyone's still stocked up from the last round of winter weather as far as eggs and milk and toilet paper and bread and all that, that there's not going to be a run at the supermarkets. I know the Arum household is still stocked with the wine that Maya got for the last one. We're a wine-drinking family, for sure. I didn't expect the story that Deborah found today that wine sales are dropping. I'm just from my consumption, I'm drinking more wine now than I did 10 years ago. But
specifically here in the United States,
yeah.
too. So it seems, well, one, they're saying the younger generations, Gen Z, are less drinking than the Gen Xers and the millennials and the boomers.
In general, they
drink less. You guys don't know what you're missing. But so that's part of it. And then there was a big boom, obviously, during the pandemic, right? Everybody was kind of trapped at home. You didn't have to worry about going out. So a lot of people drank a little bit more during the pandemic. And, you know, I was in the liquor business during the pandemic. Yes. And people drink when they're happy. People drink when they're sad. So there was a big boom in alcohol. It's not just wine. It's hard alcohol. It's beer. It's cider. It's everything that's decreased. But wine has taken the biggest hit.
It used to be that I had a great tolerance for Scotch, brown liquors. I could drink 5 of them and be fine. I